Okay, and I'm not muted. Great. I made sure this time. Hi everyone. We're back. We're gonna have a great game of masks in just a moment, but before we do, there's a bunch of stuff that I need to go over. The list keeps getting longer. First, let's talk about our amazing giveaways. So we have two dice boxes from the Shady Sale. They're absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't yet, you can go check out my Twitter to get a look at them. You can also go over to the who the Shady Sales Twitter to go check it out there as well. They do amazing work. Please do. We've got a book trilogy from Thread of Souls based on one of their home TTRPG games, which is super cool and a market that I really want to see getting pushed more often because that's just amazing. We've got a dice commission from Foxfire Dice. I got it right this time. I knew I could do it. We've got a dice commission from them. They make amazing dice. Check their dice out. They're gorgeous. They're going to work with you to make some really cool dice. We've got a creative commission from Jack Kellum, aka Jack Gogsbane, over on Twitter. Some of you might know him as Jack of Gods and Game Masters. You'll hear about him again a little bit more, but right now I just want to tell you he's one of the most creative people that I've ever had the chance to work with. Hey, he's in the chat. And he will work with you to make some really cool custom creative stuff, whatever it is that you're looking for. We've got an art commission from Lost Haven Art, who you may have seen over on Friday running Ryutama. Fantastic stuff. They've done the logo for our weekly game DTA. It just amazing. Trust me, worth it. We broke our $500 goal. We smashed our $500 goal, which, by the way, thank you again to everyone for. So we've added a copy of Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel to the giveaways list. So that's neat. Also, right now we have 5 seats open for 2 home games. One run by myself in the World of Rodain, my D&D 5th edition homebrew. It is super cool. The dice are really cool. Run in my homebrew 5th edition world, which will have long-term consequences and is also the world that you see over on DTA. The other game is going to be run by Jack Gogsman. 5 seats. I said 4. I'm so sorry. We have 5 seats that we're giving away for that. The other game is going to be Into the Borderlands, which is a really cool 5th edition take on Keep on the Borderlands. That is going to be run by Jack. It's really cool. Definitely check that out. You don't even have to donate for that one. All you got to do is type F SCOTUS into the chat and you will be entered. We're not being subtle. I have no shame. Now, we did bring up giveaways. Oh, thank you. Okay, just making sure. Thanks, Jack. So, we are also, for the people who make the top 4 highest donations between now and the end of August, we have a private game also with Jack. It's going to be a level 25th edition game where you are encouraged to bring your most powerful builds because he will be putting them to the test. It's going to be wild. And for anyone who donates $50 or more, you'll get to sit down in a multi-session private game with Marshall from Iron Echo Games, who you might have seen running Pokemon Tales on Saturday. That's yesterday. It was a great game. You'll get the chance to play with Marshall, either playing Pokemon Tales or playing Root. Both are phenomenal games. Now, every single cent that gets donated, from $1 to $100 or more in some cases, is going to the National Network of Abortion Funds. It's going to go towards logistical, medical, travel, and hotel or housing help in order to get the people who need to keep their bodily autonomy. Because unfortunately, that's something that's under attack right now, and we will not stand for it. Because, and I don't do this a lot, because it's bullshit. So we're going to keep doing this. Thank you to everyone for every single donation, every comment, every share, every interaction in the chat. Thank you to all the players. Thank you to everyone for all of this. I'm going to pass things over to our amazing group. I hope you guys enjoy masks. And then after that, we'll be talking about the resolution of our giveaways and just sort of hanging out to round out the night. But for now, masks.
Hey everyone, my name is Elmer. I'm also called GM Elms on Homebrew Schmomebrew. Homebrew Schmomebrew is a podcast that features interviews with regular gamers, and we're super excited to be involved. A person's right to bodily autonomy is incredibly important, so I think the work that we're doing here is incredibly important also. So please donate, please do whatever you can to support the people in your life who are affected by this ruling, which really is all of us. I would say that I'm super happy to participate and get to do something fun while helping people who need it. Just my quick plugs. Once again, the podcast is Homebrew Schmomebrew. We do interviews with regular gamers. We also have an actual play Riffs game that is alternate Saturday nights on our Twitch channel. Can find it on YouTube also. Again, that's called Graveyard Drifts. It's the super crunch heavy gonzo 90s post-apocalyptic RPG. And what we're going to do is I want to give my amazing cast members all an opportunity to introduce themselves. And what we're going to do, because I am a little bit of a power freak, but not a complete one, is Kristen's going to start. She's going to introduce herself and plug her stuff. And then she gets to pick who's next, and then they get to pass it to whoever's last. So Kristen, tell us about yourself.
My name is Kristen Coleman. I actually play on D20 Tales, we're a D&D live podcast game on YouTube. You can find myself on at Violet Femme on Twitter and just about everywhere else. Go ahead, Katya.
Thank you very much. Kristen, I could hear you a little quieter, so just giving you a quick heads up. Cool. So,
okay.
Hi, I am Katya, and I am also a cast member of the wonderful, the one and only D20 Tales. We are a podcast group that does amazing D&D shows with special effects, with professional actors, and we're just in this together creating probably one of the best stories I've heard in D&D so far. So join us on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. I myself am an actress, a writer, and I am also so happy that I get to drag one of my best friends into this game. Hi, Amber. This is me passing it to you.
Hi, everyone. My name's Amber Martino. I am a part of, unfortunately, no such professional RPG organization. I do this as a hobby, and I always have. I'm excited to be here for the opportunity to try out a new system, because that's always something that's really hard to schedule for on top of a recurring group. I'm not really huge on posting online about the RPG community and stuff like that. But if you would like to check me out because you think I'm cool or whatever, some people do, you can find me on Twitter at floormat1000. But even though I'm not a big member of the RPG community, I still have a very vested interest in being here, because I'm currently going to be studying public interest law, and I hope to work with the ACLU to take a really direct approach to make sure that attacks on our civil rights don't happen. And Roe v. Wade and the threat of the overturning of Obergefell was a huge boost in my drive for this. So I'm super excited to be here.
I really want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Amber, who joined us at the 11th hour. We had somebody else who had a cancellation, and we're playing masks, but today Amber's our hero. Also, I know we've never met before, but just so you know, Amber, if you want anyone to talk to about the law school experience, I am a lawyer that does startup law, and
Really?
I did some volunteer work involving the environment and some people's exercising their rights while I was in law school. So I would be happy to help you or discuss any of that with you at any point in the future if you wanted to.
Yeah, of course. We'll have to talk later.
But I'm sure that the audience here, who is awesome for supporting the National Network of Abortion Funds, isn't here to listen to us network. So I'm going to get the game started. And we begin with a telecast on Channel 5. And Joan Waterways and Canals is on, and she's covering the entrance for all of the heroes, all the young heroes and new heroes that are showing up at Camp Azure Lake, Camp Azure Sky, excuse me, just outside of Halcyon City. What is happening right now is the Golden Age heroes are getting ready to retire. So we need a new young team of superheroes to start learning what to do. And it's been decided that the best way is a competition among superheroes from all over the world to figure out who is going to be the new Team Silicon for Halcyon City. And Joan stands on the red carpet and lights are flashing. You see, first Lightbringer and Jack Campbell get out of their limousine and begin entering the camp. Jack Campbell is the head of Aegis, and he wears a black suit, black sunglasses, like the standard government suit. And Lightbringer is actually the leader of Kristen's legacy. So, Kristen, could you describe what Lightbringer looks like in his full costume?
So Lightbringer is he's getting up. He's a little bit older, and he has a let me remember exactly what I did for him, because it's on the other page. I think it's on the other page.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I believe his
It's
main
okay.
power is flying and super speed.
Yes, he does have flight and super speed and invincibility, I believe.
Sounds good to me.
I believe. We did this last week. I don't remember. But he's very, just a big bulking of a beast of a dude, and he is he's Lightbringer, I believe, is it all in white is what we said for the light one.
Yes.
And he's dressed completely in white and has a huge flowing cape behind him, and has a kind of like, he's getting older, so his hair is graying, and yeah, that's what he looks like.
I picture him having that comic book specific, just one gray stripe going through his hair.
Could have one gray stripe. That sounds
And there's thunderous applause to them as they head in, but then you notice that there is one side group that are actually protesters who are holding up a bunch of signs, and they're shouting, "Dragons are tyrants! Dragons are tyrants!" as Lightbringer enters the camp. And the other gold and silver and bronze and iron age heroes all do their entrances. It's about an hour in, and most people are getting a little antsy when the first of the Silicone Hero candidates arrives, which that would be Cobalt Blue, who is Kristen's character. What does Cobalt Blue's entrance on the red carpet look like?
So she kind of just looks at the people chanting "Down with the Dragons," and just kind of puts her hand up like whatever, and just kind of walks past them. And as she's doing that, she's kind of looking towards her father and her grandfather, which are in the gold and silver league in teams, and she kind of glances at them briefly, and kind of just she's wearing her complete uniform, which is completely all blue. She has jet blue hair, and you see a small pendant, and it's probably pretty valuable, with 3 diamonds in the center, and a small dragon coming off of it.
Joan Rivers and Waterways comes over, and she goes, Cobalt, who are you wearing? Cobalt? Who are you wearing today?
Tiffany, of course.
Cobalt, there's a lot of drama happening right now. What do you have to say to these protesters?
Why would I even acknowledge that they exist?
Oh, what a strong position. Can you tell us how you feel about this amazing event that's happening over the next 2 days?
Well, I mean, I just should. I don't even know why I'm here. I should just be let in. I don't even. Why am I even here?
Oh, honey, you have to give the public a chance to love you.
But they should already love me.
And with that, the next car pulls up, and you guys see El Sapo steps out of his limousine, and he is another metahuman who wears a tuxedo, and he's a hybrid frog person that is yellow and bright red. And they announce him, and Joan goes over to start talking to him. Does a Cobalt go ahead and just enter the camp, or what is she up to?
I will just kind of turn away and just go straight into the camp. I'm not.
Okay, a few more minutes pass, and Katya, the Soviet smasher, is that correct?
Yes, it is. And yes, Amber, I see you.
Okay. arrives shortly after El Sapo, and can you describe the Soviet Smashers' entrance and what kind of vehicle they're in and how they react to the crowds, both adoring and protesting?
I would love to. So, moments later, a huge a black Jeep starts to pull up to the red carpet. And instead of opening the back door, she's actually hopping up from the driver's seat and slowly walks around. She's not wearing anything fancy, not even some sort of not even a superhero outfit. She actually just has a hat, her boxer gloves, and just like a regular hoodie. And she just looks around to the crowd, smiles to the cameras for just a moment, fixes her hat, not even acknowledging the protester. She just keeps walking forward.
And
Like she
what
has
does
a
her
place to be, and she gets there.
and she's coming forward, and Joan comes over to her and is trying to stop her, shouting questions at her. Soviet Smasher, please, who are you wearing? Who are you wearing?
I'm wearing a hat.
Who designed your beautiful hat today?
So I mean, I knitted it myself. Thank you for noticing.
Oh, that's amazing. It is so important that we show people how down to earth you supers are also. Can you tell us a little bit about what a day in the Soviet Smasher's life is like?
Well, I suppose you wake up, you make sure you get all of your required nutrients, and then you make sure to go and smash some bad guys, Soviet Union style.
What about the rumors that you and the underground fight clubs in Moscow? What about that?
Her face just changes for a moment. Well, rumors are always going to be that when you're working a job like this, you're always going to be in some sort of spotlight. There is always going to be people who want to drag you down. So what I say to them is, bring it on.
And with that, the next car pulls up, and it is a white like stretch Hummer limousine. And after a moment, you guys see the Prismatic Princess and her best friend Young Yokai exit the vehicle. The Prismatic Princess is a very tall, blonde teenage girl who's wearing what would best be described as a modern Rainbow Brite outfit. She has all the colors of the spectrum on her shirt and dress, and she has like multicolored henna on her hands and face. And alongside her is her friend, who is the young yokai, who is a young Asian woman who does not appear to have feet. And she wears a very traditional style kimono. And the two of them enter. They're well known as kind of opposites, but best friends that work together. So they go next. And shortly after them, Amber, Void arrives. Can you tell us what kind of vehicle Void is in and what Void looks like when she steps onto the red carpet?
Yeah, so even above all the commotion, you can hear pounding bass coming from inside the still closed doors and windows of a like 2004 Honda Accord, like missing a hubcap and everything, like the whole 9 yards. It stops like a little bit too far ahead of the red carpet, as it were. But after a moment of silence, nothing really happening, the music turns off and the back door opens. You see a character kind of struggle to get her gigantic combat boots like from the floor out over the bottom of the door. And as she completely steps up, you see probably the shortest one of this group, maybe about like 5'4", wearing a just completely black cloak. For a moment, you see a bodysuit under it with some shades of purple accenting it. But as she completely stands without moving her hands, the cloak seems to sort of close around itself, even encasing her arms as she keeps walking. The especially astute might have noticed a thick purple glove on her left hand that seems to be covering some kind of marking out from the bottom.
My question is, with the car, was she driving herself, or does she have like?
Oh no.
Okay.
Somebody else was in the front seat, but it sure as hell was not a chauffeur.
Okay. I was just picturing her using telekinesis to have the car drive off after she gets out. Uh,
That's so much better.
you can do that if you want.
Yeah,
But,
sure. Let's go with that.
Okay, so you're walking down the red carpet, and a less excited Joan Canals and Waterways comes over to you, and she's like, "Oh, Floyd, what are you wearing? You look lovely tonight."
Community aid. The one on 46th Street.
Oh, can you tell us about this glove statement you're doing here? It's kind of giving me old Michael Jackson vibes. Like what's the deal with that?
It's a little personal. It covers a pretty nasty skin condition.
Oh, speaking of personal, what about the rumors we hear about you and Pete Davidson?
I do a lot of posturing on Twitter. It's not true. I'm sorry, Pete. I can't help myself.
You
Maybe
heard that
someday,
here.
though. Yeah, if you're listening, call me.
You heard that here first, folks. Void can't help herself. And what are you doing after the very brief interview?
Well, as she's walking forward, I assume, are there like cameras and stuff taking pictures?
Oh, there are tons of them.
Yeah. As the flash is going off, she has like grayscale, like shiny eyes, and the flash is probably mostly reflecting that, making it hard to get a really good look at her with all of this attention directly at her. And she can't quite decide. She keeps lifting her chin up to look like she's being confident, but then as soon as she stops paying attention and consciously trying to do that, it falters a little bit. And it's not really obvious if she like really wants to be here or not.
So she's trying to do a little bit of her posturing, and then a very loud motorcycle can be heard, and you guys see another of the Silicon Age heroes, Armory, shows up, the very last one, and he is decked out in his wannabe military gear. He has a bulletproof vest on. He has combat fatigues on. He's on a motorcycle. He has a gun. The only thing he's done apparently to show that this is a big event is he's wearing a black bow tie, and he kind of interrupts your moment a little bit because he actually drives the motorcycle up the red carpet. So he drives past you, and do you just let him go by, or are you going to do anything?
Yeah. So since this cloak is like fully covering my body, I can do some pretty like subtle hand movements underneath it that, the especially observant like might notice. But I want to use my telekinesis to kind of make a little, just like a tiny little block in front of his front wheel as he tries to pass me. So he kind of just hits like a parking barrier almost.
Okay, so that would be a provoke someone action. And this is our first move of the game. So in order to do provoke someone, you roll 2d6 and add superior.
Okay. Oh, great. I have a -1 to that. It's 3.
Okay. So you try to provoke him, and what happens is your little block appears, and he somehow anticipates it and activates a special feature on the motorcycle that causes it to jump. So Sylvia Smasher and Cobalt Blue, you're both standing in the crowd of other superheroes, and you see Armory like coming up on this motorcycle, and he's gonna land right in the middle of your group. You guys see, Penumbra, one of the other superheroes who's here with you, just turns into a shadow and kind of slides over to the side so that he's not going to hit her. What are the two of you going to do?
I just look. He's coming down on top?
Yeah, he has the motorcycle. It's kind of like mid jump and going to land in the midst of you guys.
I just kind of and put my hand up.
So you're just gonna try to stop him?
I'm just gonna put my hand up. He's probably gonna hit. If he hits me, he hits me. But
okay. You just put your hand up to be like, no. But okay. Soviet Smasher, are you doing anything?
Yes. I want to try and catch that motorcycle.
Okay, so this is going to be, are you doing this more to engage him or to try to protect the other people in the group?
Trying to protect.
Okay, so you're going to roll defend, which is
Okay.
2d6 plus savior.
My character sheet decided to bail on me, so give me just a moment.
Oh, that's fine. Everyone, if you want to take this as a moment to fill out that donation information and throw some money to the National Network of Abortion Funds, this would be a great chance for you to do that. Just saying.
Donate, donate, donate.
Oh,
And my green screen fell. That's okay, but I'll fix it in a moment. Hey,
Do
come on,
you
that's how
want
it
me-
goes.
I can pull up your playbook because I'm in the Google
Nope, I got
Drive
it.
right now.
I
if that'd be
I
helpful.
already have it right here. So, sorry.
Awesome.
Say that one more time. Was it?
You're doing defend, and
Yep.
it's
Savior.
2d6 plus savior.
So okay. First. So that's a total of 2.
A total of 2.
Yep.
Okay, so you reach up to grab the bike, and apparently Armory is more awesome than I imagined him being, and he kicks in the jet boosters on the bike, so it jumps over the crowd, and then he kind of hops on the back tire a couple of times before jumping off and gesturing to the crowd. So instead of
Show
like
off.
you successfully protecting everyone, he gets some applause and then some hisses from the protesters. And since that's the last of you to arrive, you guys see Lightbringer look over at him disdainfully, and then Lightbringer and Jack Campbell stand up, and they push open the doors to the camp so everybody can enter. So I'm assuming that the group of you are going along with the other group of Silicon Age heroes. If not, please let me know what you're doing instead.
I will follow along, but as I pass the guy on the motorcycle, I'm just gonna go whatever.
He actually says to you as you go by, "Oh, you know you want me."
Oh, so he's like that. Okay, no, I'm gonna go talk to him.
Oh, okay.
As if.
So
Okay, so Soviet Smasher enters the conversation.
I'm gonna shoulder check him. First
Okay.
of all, is that an engage? Is it some sort of engagement as well?
Yeah, are you actually trying to knock him over?
I just want to hit him with my shoulder, kind of
Is your-
to get his attention.
I know a lot of this is becoming intention based, but is the goal here to knock him over or to kind of humiliate him?
Humiliate.
That's provoke someone then. So
Great.
roll 2d6 and add your superior.
8.
8. Okay, so you you provoke him, and what we're going to say is that moving forward, you get a +1 against Armory in any action you take against him. So
Great.
please note that somewhere. Traditionally, for masks, the way this works is it'll last for just the scene. But for this one shot, I'm going to suspend the rules a little bit, and you get that +1 forward against him for the rest of the game.
I'm very happy with that. Thank you.
So
What's the response to is the shoulder check? Yeah.
you actually knock him off the motorcycle, and he kind of looks like a chump as he tries to stand and get up.
Great.
And he's like, "What's your problem?"
You could have gotten someone killed. You crazy?
You guys were fine. I had the jets the whole time. Nobody would have been hurt.
Yeah.
can't-
Okay.
You can't spend your time as a superhero being a scaredy cat.
Scaredy cat. You want to try that again? I just look him straight in the eyes, just like.
He just kind of just harumphs, and he actually just takes the bike and walks to the side.
Great. She crosses her arms and goes, "If idiots like this get the job, would have fucked."
Gets a little chuckle out of Void.
That's all I wanted.
And I am completely ignoring all of it because I have turned around and walked away.
Okay. The three of you end up moving with the rest of the group, and you guys find yourself in what looks to be a summer camp, a very modern summer camp, but a summer camp nonetheless. There are cabins, so you're going to have to bunk several people to a room. You guys can see that there's a lake here, there's like a field area, there's woods, and there's a big stage set up in the middle. And there are chairs for everyone, so the Gold and Silver Age heroes are all taking their seats, and Jack Campbell and Lightbringer are standing up on the stage, waiting to deliver the opening remarks. Where are you guys going during this? Like, you can go to listen to the opening remarks, you can try to join the Silver and Gold Age heroes, hang out with Silicone heroes. Just let me know what you're up to in these few minutes before the speeches start.
I will go stand with my parents in the Silver, and I'll kind of tug on my father's. Do I really have to? Are we staying in the cabin?
We've talked, Cobalt, and you need to go through the same process as everyone else. I know it feels uncomfortable. It's important for you to form good connections with your team. If we weren't such good friends with, I needed to come up with more superhero names before this started. If we weren't such good friends with the Black Cat, even though they're not part of the legacy, there's no way we would have succeeded over Mind Crusher, and you know that.
And I kind of cross my arms. But can't we make it like a 4-star hotel?
Your dad just kind of grumbles, and that's kind of how he ends these types of conversations. They don't chase you away though, so you're free to stand with them if you want. Okay. Amber, what is Void up to? Is Void like hanging out with the other Silicone heroes, going somewhere else? What's up?
So she's going to make her way towards where the opening remarks are happening, and find somewhere to stand that's not necessarily all the way towards the back, but somewhere where there's a less dense concentration of people, and sort of try to listen to the opening remarks there, looking around for the Soviet Smasher, just to kind of keep her within peripheral vision.
Okay, and Soviet Smasher, what are you up to?
I was actually gonna also go listen to the remarks, but for a very specific reason. I'm gonna make the Void's life easier to not need to look for me because I'm gonna approach him.
You guys actually, when you're over there, you guys see Blackstone Jr. starts walking up to you, and Blackstone Jr. is actually a superhero who is from England. And he is the latest in a series of Blackstones who are all like magician type superheroes. He wears like a very like posh tuxedo with a white coat, and he has like the traditional magician gloves on and a top hat. And he comes over and he says, "First, Void, I loved your interview. You really told that empty-headed reporter where to go. I really appreciated that. It's so tacky to ask everyone who they're wearing, and I think you made the point that she's kind of a snob. So I really appreciate that. And Soviet Smasher, I'm so glad somebody put Armory in his place. Like, really props. Nice job."
Well, yeah, that's really nice of you. Thanks. Could I get your name though?
Oh, I'm Blackstone Jr. But you can call me by my real name if the superhero name seems familiar to you. Preston Changeo.
Okay, right. Thanks. Sorry, I didn't catch your interview.
Oh, it's all right. I always avoid those things. The invisibility spell comes mighty handy, and he disappears.
Soviet Smasher just looks a little surprised and goes, "I should ask him to teach me one of those."
You see a little card appears in the air in front of you, and you see it has a picture of him tilting his hat, and it has his Twitter handle, email address, and phone number on it.
Great.
And
mhm.
go ahead.
Just sliding into my pocket. She fixes her hat and goes, "Благодарю."
Okay, Jack Campbell begins the opening speech, and imagine like the most boring like official speech that you've ever been to, like the worst like commencement beginning speech that nobody wants to listen, and that's what you're getting from Jack Campbell. Like he's recapping the entire history of superheroes in Halcyon City. He's very Cobalt. He is very complimentary towards your family while he's talking and how important they were to protect the city. And he eventually gets around to explaining that all of you are the best of the best and that he is excited to see who comes out on top at the end of this weekend, and that you know, they will continue making progress. Well, we will all continue making progress together. He's especially interested to see how, you know, what your generation has to contribute as they consider such important things as the metahuman control legislation that's currently being negotiated in Congress. And he goes on to explain that this isn't just a test of your power, it's a test of your smarts and your skills and your ability to care for others. So to that end, based on your answers to the questionnaire questions that were submitted prior to this event, they've grouped you into teams, and he announces that Team A is going to be led by the Prismatic Princess and will consist of her and the Young Yokai and the Sanguinarian. And the Sanguinarian, when you guys look over, he is a young, extremely muscular man, and his powers are he can actually cut himself and get wings made out of blood and fly, and he can fire bolts out of his hands. And then they say Team B is led by Dark Web, who is a combination of like spider powers, so there's web slinging and there's climbing walls, but it's all due to a super suit that is also super technology that allows them to hack into machines. And they are working with El Sapo, which is the frog that you guys saw earlier, and Penumbra, who is a shadow being from another dimension. And that Team C will be led by Blackstone Jr. and consist of him and Armory and the Clockwork Soldier TikTok. And then finally, the last team will be led by our very own Cobalt Blue, the latest in her legacy. He will be teamed up with the powerhouse from the Soviet Smasher, and Void, the amazing magician. And they're looking forward to seeing what all of the teams do. So please find your teammates and get into groups, and your instructor will come by to give you more information about what will happen next. So you guys have about 15 minutes to meet and visit with one another before the person comes. So I'm going to leave it to you to have that discussion when hopefully Cobalt Blue comes to join you, but that's up to her.
Great. The moment the announcement happens, Soviet Smasher just turns to Void and goes, "Wow, as if I knew to come here."
Yeah, like, what a coincidence, right?
You seem nervous. Are you nervous about this?
Yeah. It's just that there's just a lot going on. It's more like the cameras and everything.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I wish we could avoid that part and just get to the job and get the job done.
Right. I'm glad we're on the same page about that.
I think this would be a great moment for Cobalt Blue with her Tiffany necklace and super nice superhero costume to walk up.
So I walk up, arms folded. I kind of look at both of them. Really? Okay, so I guess we're a team.
Love the attitude, yeah.
I kind of look at everything you're wearing. Yeah.
It's only one piece of clothing.
Yeah, it's just the one thing. And then I look and then I look at your character Katya, and I'm like,
Anything wrong?
we can do a makeover.
Makeover. What don't you like about the hat?
I think you look great.
Thank you. See? It's just clothes. It's the main function is completed.
You are correct. It is clothes.
You guys all see walking towards you is an Iron Age superhero by the name of Banjo. Banjo is wearing a pair of skinny jeans and a pair of deck shoes, no shirt. He has a big, long hipster beard and a banjo slung across his back. You guys are all aware of the superheroes, so just so you know, his powers are he can play the banjo to control the emotions of those around him, or to create small tremors in the ground. And you see him walking up to you, and he has a basket that has a piece of like purple silk draped over it. And he's using both hands to carry the basket. It looks like it's decently heavy. Are you guys doing anything as he walks up towards you?
This may be who we're waiting for. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
And then I'll turn around.
He comes up and he says, "Hi, I'm your mentor for the weekend. Name's Banjo," and he sets the basket down and stretches his hand out to. He starts with Soviet Smasher.
Need a hand with that?
Oh, actually, these are for you anyway. And he pulls the purple velvet off, and you see there are 3 bright green ostrich eggs. He says, "Yeah, for part of the competition, we've decided that people don't always think about collateral damage the way they should. So each of these eggs is your bystander that you're going to be protecting for the weekend." So he lifts up this large green egg and is holding it out to the Soviet Smasher.
Right. Well, I suppose my competition is going to be done very soon, so I just try to pick it up as gently as I can, realizing that I'm going to crack it with just one touch.
It has a very tough leathery exterior.
Cool.
But he hands you the egg, and just for reference, these eggs are each a little bigger than a basketball. And then he picks one up and he's holding it out to Void. He's like, "Yep, and this one's here for you."
Oh, thank you. And she's kind of gonna give like a little bit of a nod. And the top of the cloak is gonna open up just a little bit, and I'm gonna use my telekinesis to make the egg kind of just float out of his hand and tuck itself underneath the lapel before it closes back up.
Okay, so you have this huge thing bulging out of that part of the billowing cloak.
Yeah, I guess it's like on my side.
And then he holds one out to you, Cobalt.
I put my hand out and grab it.
And yeah, and it's like all those episodes you see in sitcoms where like they have the bag of flour or whatever that represents the baby, only these eggs represent bystanders. And as you go through the events of the next 2 days, you need to protect your egg, because if your egg breaks, you lose, and you'll be gathered up by Lightbringer and taken out of the game. And maybe you can reapply next time, but this is the main criteria that's going to be used. Of course, everybody who makes it through with an intact egg, we're then going to look at your teamwork skills. And he kind of looks at Cobalt when he says that and just kind of pauses for a second. Your strength, your use of your powers, your ingenuity to solve problems, all of that will be considered, because we want to find the best of the best to be the next group of heroes for Halcyon City. And I think that we should all get to know each other, since you're a team that hasn't met before. So could you each just I think the best way to do this is to play a game that's called 2 Truths and a Lie. So I'm going to have each of you say 3 things about yourself. Then 2 of them have to be true, and 1 of them is a lie. And the other 2 are going to try to figure out which one's the lie. So, Void, why don't we start with you?
Okay. Two truths and a lie. Right. So, I was born in upstate New York. Um, I really, really, really love cats. And I drink a lot of coffee.
What do you think, Cobalt? Which one's the lie?
Do you like cats? Who likes cats?
Okay, don't-
Everybody
don't-
love cats.
Void, don't answer yet. Don't answer yet. We want to get Katya a shot too.
Hmm. I say it's New York. Cats work and the coffee matches your outfit too well.
Wow.
I'm going to say caffeine's bad for you, so I don't think you drink coffee. So which one was the lie? Please tell us, Void.
I'm from Perth Amboy. It's in New Jersey.
Oh, good job, Katya. And he does like a little clap. He's like, since you got it right, why don't you go next and tell us 3 things about yourself? And 2 of them are true, and one of them's a lie.
Sure. I applied to this as a bet because somebody said that I couldn't, so I did. I spent most of my time in this country, even though I still have the accent that I really love. And what else? What could be a good one? Oh, and I absolutely completely destroyed the last bar I've been at.
So what do you ladies think? What was the lie?
You know what? You seem like you have a pretty good head on your shoulders. I don't think you destroyed a bar. You don't even strike me as the kind of person who drinks a lot.
And Cobalt, what do you think?
Sure, the last one.
I have to say, I don't believe that you would gamble. So Soviet Smasher, I don't think that you would make a bet before entering. So what's the lie?
It is the bet.
Oh,
Good job. I'm kind of impressed, I'm not gonna lie. But the bar, you're right. But you don't have to drink to destroy the bar full of bad guys.
oh, see, that's what I mean. You have to be clever. Okay, Cobalt, last one. Let us in. Tell us 2 truths and a lie.
I must. Let me see. So my first one is, let's see. I have I captured a bad guy once and he got out of prison the very, next day. I have stopped a train, and I was born in New York.
Okay, ladies, what do you think? What was the lie?
I don't think you're from New York.
I don't think you stopped
You
the
strike me
train.
as a little further north.
I thought you were from Halcyon City, so I don't think you're from New York either.
I'm from Halcyon City.
Wait, so you stopped the train? How did that happen?
Well, I had help.
I'm pretty sure she just complained to the conductor, but
That's pretty much. She
Yeah.
had an emergency stop.
yep. Oh, Banjo is a great judge character. I'm so glad we met, ladies. You get the schedule for the next 2 days is you're going to get the rest of this evening as like mixer time, so you can meet the other superheroes, get to know each other better. Then starting tomorrow, we're going to have the Gauntlet, which is going to be most of the competition. And then on Sunday, we're going to have the interview process. So, I would suggest that like you take some time to meet some of the other superheroes, and then you get to bed so you can be ready for that tough challenge tomorrow. And with that, Banjo leaves all of you with your respective eggs. And like I said, this is free time. We do need to do something mechanically, and that is the Soviet Smasher, the Bold Playbook, has a thing for a rival and a love. So you need to pick one person to be your rival And you can do love here as being romantic love or platonic love. It's up to you. So
Got it.
Did you-
I'd say I feel like Void and I really, really vibed. So let's go with like platonic situation because I really, really love how it's going. And I really think that Cobalt, that whole interaction with like the clothes really gives it the different vibe.
Okay, and then
If that's
another
okay by
part-
you, Kristen, of course.
I think Kristen kind of designed Cobalt specifically for this sort of thing.
Pretty much, yes.
The other part is each of you gets to pick one party member that you have influence over. And the way influence works is you can spend a team token, and you guys have 5 team tokens at the moment, to give the person a +1 on a check after they roll it, or a -1 on a check. But you have to be able to explain how your character is either helping or hindering them. So we're gonna start with Cobalt, and who do you want to have influence over based on the conversations? Or would you guys, or if you guys would be more comfortable, we can say who you want to have influence over you if you prefer to do it that way.
I would say I would definitely want influence to try to influence Katya's character to change her wardrobe.
Okay, so we'll say you have influence over Soviet Smasher.
Soviet Smasher.
I'll let you go next, Soviet Smasher. Who do you want to have influence over?
Can we have influence like back at each other? Because I wouldn't have influence
Yeah.
at Cobalt.
Okay.
Great. I want to have like an influence that I am so kind of like not the character for this type of job, like not the fancy saving people type, but the type that just gets the job done. So the frustration out of that.
Okay. And Void, you get to pick one person to have influence over.
Soviet Smasher. I've already immediately kind of identified, like I said, I'm really small, and I've already identified the Rock here.
And you guys have cabin 4, so that's where you can go to sleep for the night. It is the closest to the showery area, which is like the like if you've ever been to a campground, like they have the bathhouse place, and that's right near your guys' cabin. I listed some of the heroes for you guys already. I just want to go over real quickly, just so you know you have your options to interact with. There's Prismatic Princess, Young Yokai, Sanguinarian, El Sapo, Dark Web, Penumbra, Armory, Blackstone Jr., and TikTok. And I don't think I've talked much about TikTok. That is a clockwork warrior from another dimension. And so you guys have the option now. Your character can just go back to the cabin if you want, or you can do one interaction with one or more of the other heroes. If you want to interact, tell me who you want to go interact with, and we can.
So out of all of these others, are there anyone that is a big influencer that is in the social status?
The 2 that are popular are Blackstone Jr., because like you, he's a legacy. So he's known for, being from a long line of magicians who protect the United Kingdom. And the other one is the Prismatic Princess, who before she went public with her powers was a K-pop star.
Okay.
She's probably the only one here with more Instagram followers than you.
I will actually probably approach Blackstone if I see him, if he's not invisible.
Okay. Blackstone is around, so are you guys going in a group, or is this Cobalt going off by herself? Like, do you? I guess.
I'm not gonna follow.
Okay. So, Smasher, are you hanging out with Cobalt when she goes to talk to Blackstone Jr., or are you staying back with Void?
First of all, I would like to address that this whole time my cat was playing with my dice. So I'm just impressed by that. I think, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to follow, but not like, I'm going to try to stay discreet. Like she wouldn't know that I'm following her.
Okay. So, Cobalt, you see Blackstone is actually by himself. He's leaning on a picnic table and he's checking something on his phone. And
I'll just kind of walk over and just kind of sit next to him.
when you sit down, he actually looks over from the phone and he says, "Oh, hey, Cobalt Blue. Your necklace is very nice."
Oh, well, thank you. Do you believe that we have to stay in this?
Yeah, I think it's just like a photo op. Superheroes, they're just like us.
But we're definitely not.
Yeah, but you don't say that part out
And she gets on her phone and deletes that last.
loud. Yeah, so what do you think about this whole thing? Have you what do you think about our competition? And he just kind of gestures vaguely.
This is no competition. This is a joke.
This is me giving you a tutorial like experience here. If you would like to roll assess the situation, you could ask me a question about some of the other superheroes if you wanted to. I'm not forcing you. I just wanted to like I'm trying to introduce mechanics as we go.
I will try to assess the situation and see what, kind of judge our team versus all the other teams. And what chances I think we have of, completing anything.
Okay, so go ahead and roll plus superior, and I'll give you the list of questions that you can ask me, and I'll answer any one of them honestly.
Okay, so that's a +1. That's going to be an 11.
Okay, that is a success. So you get to ask 2 questions, and your options are, what here can I use to my advantage? Who here is the biggest threat? What is the greatest danger this weekend? Who here is the most vulnerable to my powers? And what could I do to get an advantage against these people?
Okay, so what can I do to get an advantage? And then the other question will be, who is our greatest threat?
Okay, so who's the greatest threat? I'm going to interpret that to be as which superheroes have the strongest powers. That would be group 1 with the Prismatic Princess and Young Yokai and Sanguinarian. They have, in terms of the playbooks, both Sanguinarian and Prismatic Princess are Novas. So they have very powerful super abilities when they decide to use them. As for what could your advantage be, you know that all of these teams have been more or less randomly put together except for team 1. So the other 2 teams, it probably wouldn't be too hard to sow some dissent among them, but it's also kind of suspicious that team 1 consists of 3 superheroes that are popular and strong and are already friends and have worked together in the past.
Okay. I will kind of look towards them and just kind of, why are they together?
He looks up. Oh, I heard that Sanguinarian is somehow related to Campbell. So I think Aegis is kind of stacking the deck here. But
well, then I should have been on that team.
Are you friends with Jack Campbell?
You know who my grandfather is?
Yeah, and I know that your grandfather and Jack Campbell don't get along. At least they didn't in the 80s and 90s.
That's true.
But methinks that maybe this is a little more political than people originally thought.
Politics.
Yep, you got to make people like you.
I mean, do you?
Okay, Soviet Smasher, you are close enough that you've overheard this conversation. Are you going to say or do anything, or are you just gathering info at the moment?
I am honestly just gathering info, and I want to ask if I can also like while Cobalt Blue was looking around, I also want to look around to see who is um what would do from the environment that we're in. What's the challenges that we're gonna have to be facing, just like based on everything that I see around.
Okay, I'll let you roll assess the situation, and we'll apply the questions to the environment rather than the other heroes. How's that?
Great, that's perfect.
Okay, so roll 2d6 and add superior.
Great. I rolled a 1 and a 2, so a total of 4.
Okay, so I'll let you ask a question, but there's going to be a cost here. And what's going to happen is someone's going to notice you and know what you're doing. And you could either choose for your cost to fill in one of the conditions on your character sheet when you realize that someone's staring at you. So you could be angry about it, or you could feel guilty about it or insecure about it, whichever one you think is appropriate. Or the particular person that I have noticed could have a +1 against you moving forward.
So the way I wanted to put it is like, if for someone, like as she is standing there like by a wall or something with her arms crossed, just trying to listen in on a conversation, she just stops someone who walks by and asks them a question. And would that person be the one with the +1 against me?
Yeah, that's how we
Sure.
do that.
That sounds good.
You know what? I'll let you pick among the heroes that I named who you want it to be. So it could be anyone but Blackstone, Cobalt, Void, or Armory, because Armory just won't talk to you.
I was about to say Armory, but okay, fine. Let's go with El Sapo.
Okay. El Sapo is a hybrid human poison dart frog who's red and yellow and wearing a tuxedo, like I said before.
Great.
So I'm assuming you touch him on the tuxedo as opposed to touching his skin directly.
Just the tuxedo. Yeah, no. Just the tuxedo, and just like heavy arm on the shoulder, just like, hey, what is this whole thing gonna look like?
He says, well, just because you took Armory down a peg earlier and he needed it, I'll tell you. But I heard that they're doing a 2-part challenge tomorrow, and one of them's going to be in the water. So you have to be able to swim or figure out a way to hold your breath or something during that part of the challenge. So
Well, you got nothing to worry about.
yeah, it's no problem for me, but I'm kind of wondering what somebody of your stature and skill set is going to do about that.
Yeah, water is not my best, but thank you. I'll keep note of that.
Okay, we're going to stop there and we're going to jump over to Void. Void, you have an opportunity to go interact with another hero. So you can if you want, or you can go back to your cabin, whichever you prefer to do.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna pass off on interacting with other people to go back to the cabin. Is there just like 3 beds in the cabin for each one of our group mates, or is it like a big whole thing?
It's a 1-room cabin. There are actually 6 sets of bunk beds because apparently there are normally more people per cabin than you guys currently have. And each bed has like a little chest at the end of it that you could store stuff in if you wanted. And you see that 3 of the beds actually have like a little welcome basket that has like some Fig Newtons and some sugar-free soda and some like all natural shampoo, conditioner, and toothpaste, and a little note just telling you how awesome you are, signed by Banjo.
All right, I'm probably gonna go over to one of the beds that doesn't have the little welcome basket on it, and sort of just sit down and put my head in my hands for a moment. A bag sort of just like slides down from under my cloak, opens itself up, and starts emptying itself into the chest at the end of the bed. And as everything's coming out, one thing doesn't go right into the chest, and it's a small hand mirror. And instead of going into the chest, it floats itself right up in front of my face, and I kind of just like look at it for a second, take a deep breath, and then my eyes have like a flash of silver for a moment, and I'm altering my own memory to so I think that all of that interview and getting to know everyone that happened before went a lot better than it did.
Okay, I have to ask, just based on the way she interacted with you, do you make Cobalt nice in your memory?
No, but she, you know what? Yes, I make her nice.
Okay, you just finished doing this. When you hear you hear something, you can hear some movement and some kind of scuffle happening in the cabin that's next to yours.
Ooh. Are there windows in my cabin?
Yes.
Can I see anything like looking through the windows, or would I have to like go over?
You can look out the window. You aren't getting a really good view. You do see in the cabin next to you that there's a flash of light. It's like a bright white, like very almost blinding light.
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna run over and out the door with that little hand mirror still kind of like trailing in the air behind me, and I'm gonna stand like against the side of the building next to the window of this other cabin and move around this hand mirror to try and get an idea of what's going on inside.
Okay, so you're looking inside, and I need you to roll 2d6 and add. We'll go with mundane on this one, since you're just using your regular abilities to look.
Okay. That's gonna be a 7.
Okay, so that is a partial success. So you look in and see some of what's going on, and you peer through the window, and you see that Armory is in there, and he's struggling and kicking and saying something, and you see that Lightbringer is just holding him by like the scruff of his neck, and he has Armory's egg in his other hand that you can see there's very clearly a crack in the top of.
Ooh, the drama. Okay. From this, like while I'm looking through this mirror, I'm sorry, who did you say was holding the cracked egg?
Lightbringer, who,
Lightbringer. Okay.
to refresh the audience and your memory, is the Golden Age hero that is Cobalt Blue's grandfather. He is a Superman type and supposed to be one of the strongest and fastest heroes in the world.
Okay, in that case, I think I'm gonna go back and mind my own business. I'm not gonna mess with him.
Okay.
Get me in there.
And that is going to be the end of night one. Eventually, Cobalt Blue and the Soviet Smasher make their way to the cabin. And
I wanted to pick a fight. I'll find a way later.
Sorry, there will be plenty of opportunities the next day.
Oh, I bet.
And welcome back. We've completed our bio break. Our heroines have all returned. And just a reminder, this is a fundraiser for the National Network of Abortion Funds. So keep that in mind. I'm not going to beg for me too much more right now. I think I got it good before the break. But let's go ahead and get started. The next day rolls around, and it is just barely dawn. It's that point of day when it's light outside, but you can't actually see the sun yet. When you guys all hear a banjo playing the beginning chords of the Serenade of Spring, do 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 do, to wake you up. And how does everyone react to this?
I roll over and go back to sleep.
I think so. I kind of just the covers that are over my body kind of just lift up on one side, and the cloak that was previously on the floor kind of slithers its way under, before the covers come fully off, and I kind of just sit up with the cloak fully around me and everything, telekinesising my big clunky combat boots back on.
And when you open your eyes, you see at the end of your bed that a small plate has appeared that is covered with fresh fruit, and you have some ancient grains bread with sunflower paste on it and a little jar of raspberry compote. And a similar tray has been placed at the end of each of the other beds. Soviet Smasher, how are you reacting to the banjo playing?
So first of all, when he walked in, he might have noticed it that she's been sleeping with the egg, just like hugging the egg the whole time, just because she was so worried over like anything crashing in her sleep, so she was just like holding on to it while falling asleep.
That is a great detail. How is everyone else treating their egg overnight?
My egg is under the bed.
Okay.
Right.
Void?
You're gonna have to tell me if this is all right. There's kind of just one of the pillowcases from the bed is sort of just suspended loosely in midair, and the egg is sitting in it, kind of like cradled in the loose hanging pillowcase.
That's great. That's fine. Soviet Smasher, I need you to roll a 2d6 and add mundane to it.
Add what to it again?
Mundane.
Okay, so, oh God, please don't tell me I cracked it on the first one. 5.
Okay. You didn't have a great night sleeping because you kept waking up thinking you cracked it. But so what we're going to do is you're going to have a -1 to the first check that you do today just from being sleepy. But you did not crack the egg overnight.
Got it. Perfect.
If you want to take a bigger penalty, I can give you some more information.
The penalty is going to be just to the first check, right?
I will give you a condition that will last until it is removed, or until it's removed.
Sure, let's go.
Okay, so you didn't sleep well last night, so we're going to mark one of the conditions on your playbook. And how does Soviet Smasher react to not sleeping well? Does it make her angry? Does it make her feel, I guess, insecure, maybe a little hopeless?
I would say angry is a good one, just like frustrated, like the
Okay.
grumpiness.
So you have that condition, you wake up super grumpy because at one point last night, you are certain you woke up because your egg was, like, whatever was inside the egg was moving around.
No.
But the egg is
shit.
still intact in the morning, but you know that at least your egg is really close to hatching, whatever it is.
Well, okay. We are. This is okay. Got it. Perfect. So waking up, just hearing all this, she just like pulls her hat over her eyes and just like, can we go with a few more minutes for God's sake?
I'm gonna telekinesis the covers off of her.
Banjo says, well, if you sleep more, you're going to miss your chance to participate in sunrise yoga.
Sunrise, what?
Sunrise yoga, we go by the shore of the lake. It's a chance to warm up, get your day started, get more in touch with your body and the universe. It's a great opportunity to start this very challenging and important day right.
You know, I'm already in touch with the universe, and the way I get more in touch with the universe is by getting enough sleep. And with that, I try to catch after the covers that are slowly being slippered away from me.
Well, I think it's important that we respect your choices. So if you want to skip sunrise yoga, that's fine. Void, would you like to come with me?
That sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Has Cobalt just not moved this whole time? She's just been like hiding.
And
under the
actually,
blanket?
you hear a slight snore because she is sound asleep.
I nudge Void and I go, hey, can you do the thing?
Banjo sees this happening and he just says, Void, I'll see you in about 5 minutes at the lake, and he just leaves.
All right, great. So after he leaves, I'm gonna walk over to the Soviet Smasher's bed, and kind of gently sort of lean over, which probably looks really strange considering how stiff this cloak generally is.
It's just like this.
Yeah, it doesn't. It looks it looks almost like it's animated, like it molds to kind of just stay flat regardless of what I'm doing. And I kind of like lean over her a little bit and be like, "Are you sure that you don't want to come to yoga this morning?"
You see, I was never really about yoga, but I'm sure Cobalt Blue would be interested.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just worried that if you didn't sleep well, maybe some fresh air might help get everything going. Because I'm sorry. If you had a hard time sleeping, I don't know how much time an extra half hour is really gonna help.
No, I think you might be right about that. She's gonna slowly get up and then look towards her egg with like a side eye. Yes, speaking of not sleeping well, did your egg like move or make noises at night?
I'm gonna kind of put my thumb over my shoulder and point to the egg that's still there, and the cradle is gonna kind of like swing a little bit.
Ah, right. Well, sometimes I wish I had that power instead.
Void, I'm just telling you, you can see Soviet Smasher's egg, and it looks fine. It doesn't look any different
looks
than it looked
fine.
yesterday.
Okay.
That's not good.
Is there any chance that I might be able to get a comfort or support roll out of that, or would I need to do something bigger?
Uh,
I understand if it would need to
maybe-
be more.
you know what? Go ahead and take the roll. I really like the fact that you took the initiative to remember
Right.
the move and ask. So we're gonna reward that a little bit.
Okay. That is an 8.
Okay, so let me pull up the basic moves real quick to see what a hit but not complete success means. Okay, you can only remove the condition on a 10 plus.
Oh,
Oh wait, no. You can clear the condition on an 8. On a 10 plus, you get an extra bonus.
okay.
But like you do remove you do convince Soviet Smasher not to be angry.
Thank you.
And Cobalt, you're still asleep.
Out.
Do you guys go down to yoga?
I'm going down to yoga with Void, but on my way, I kind of just I stop by the bed of Cobalt. Kristen, I'm sorry. I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna try to lift the bed.
Oh, it's easy. This bed
Great.
is not even heavy to someone who's a bull. Like this would be like me or you picking up a folding chair.
Oh,
You're
easy,
just
just
gonna
like
tip
vo-
me over.
Yeah, no, I kind of like lift it and I kind of let it fly in the air for a second, just to kind of make her jump on the bed and land back on.
As you do, I just kind of stay in the air, and I'm sound asleep.
She has flying, so she just hovers.
First of all, I didn't know that, and that is just hilarious. Oh God, get
I'm
that
still sound
princess.
asleep.
So I come up to the side and I go, "Get that princess! Come on!"
This gets like a heavy like snort laugh out of Void.
I kind of. I'm not getting up for yoga.
Well, why not? Beauty yoga,
And I
isn't it?
slowly lower back to the bed. Go on without me.
All right, let's go. You lead the way, Void.
We'll
Okay.
head on over to yoga.
Okay, so you guys go down for yoga. Cobalt, you're by yourself. And after they leave, you hear a knock on your cabin door. Are you still staying in bed?
I'm still staying in bed. I'm not getting up. I want my sleep.
The knock is a little harder and more insistent.
Oh, well, fine.
You
I'll
hear
get
a
up.
familiar voice. There's a knock again. You hear a familiar voice say, "Amber, so help me. If you do not come to this door right now, it's your mom."
Fine. whatever. And I'll slowly get up and kind of half asleep. What? As I open the door.
Your mom comes in and she closes the door behind her, and she says, "Good. I need to talk to you for a minute. This is really not fair what they're doing to you, and I'm very upset about it."
No, it's
And,
not. It's not fair. Did you see who they put on one team?
Yeah, I saw that, and I wanted to tell you that the first challenge is going to be a simulated battle in the streets, and that there is a blind corner where you can go where none of the judges will see you, and from there you might be able to get a chance to break someone else's egg.
Okay.
So your mom actually hands you a map, and you see it's a map of the camp, but then she's drawn over it like in Sharpies, like a street scene.
Okay.
And she circled one individual spot that's behind like two cars, and it's like a blind corner, so we would have to go around, and you could very easily grab somebody as they went around that corner.
Okay.
And she says, "Yeah, it's really not fair. I told your grandfather that it's really not fair, but he can't change the rules. But if you can break the Prismatic Princess or Young Yokai or Sanguinarian's egg when they come around the corner, he's going to have to take them away, and I'm sure he'll believe you over them."
Okay. I can do that.
So with that, your mom looks at the little tray in disgust, and she pulls out of her purse a like very small thermos of coffee that was made from like your house's very special brand that you buy overseas, and a like breakfast Danish that's made by your guys' personal chef. And she's like, "Try to keep up your strength, dear." And then she leaves.
I will immediately just like open it and start drinking the coffee. Much better. Fine, I'll go down. And at this point, I'm awake. So
we zoom out of the scene with Cobalt Blue enjoying her coffee, and you can see her egg underneath the bed shake just a little bit. And then we cut away, and the three of you are all standing together with your eggs, however you're choosing to hold them. Which I'm
What the hell is up with those eggs?
And Banjo is with you, and you're getting ready to start the first challenge. All the other teams are set up, and you guys notice that Armory is no longer part of his team. And let me check my notes real quick. I'm sorry. Blackstone is very angrily objecting to the fact that that Armory was thrown out before the game even started. He thinks it isn't fair, and Jax basically says, "Well, you should have helped your teammate keep an eye on his egg."
Ooh. I'm gonna sort of like with my elbow kind of like nudge Soviet Smasher and like look up at her. And when she meets my gaze, I'm gonna do the modify memory thing again to make her see what I saw. With the cracked egg in the cabin.
Okay, we're going to have you do. This is an Unleash Your Powers roll, so I need you to roll 2d6 plus Freak.
Ooh,
to
okay.
show this vision to Soviet Smasher. And I need to know, are you just showing her, or are you also showing Cobalt Blue or Banjo?
Yeah, if Cobalt Blue and Banjo are both here, then I can, I guess, briefly show all of them. That's a 12.
Oh, it is a
Nice.
complete success. You show them exactly what you saw, and oddly enough, you don't remember being able to hear anything, but audio comes through. Apparently, you heard it very softly, or you're not sure where you're getting this extra information, but some audio comes through, and you guys hear Armory say, "No, you don't understand. It cracked itself." And Lightbringer says, "No, that's impossible. Stop trying to lie to get out of this, you little weasel."
Great.
Ooh.
The moment Soviet Smasher sees this, her eyes just grow wide and she looks at Void just,
And
oh no, this is not gonna fly here. And she sweeps around and starts looking with like dead stare, starts looking for Lightbringer.
you see that he is over standing next to Campbell, the Jack Campbell, who's in charge of Aegis. And you see, actually, now that you look around, you see standing behind them, looking really crestfallen, just wearing like street clothes, is Armory.
This isn't right. Something's up with those eggs.
Banjo says the eggs are synthetic. There's no life form inside them. There's no way it could have cracked on its own. Those are the rules. Everyone knew. Anybody whose egg broke last night would have been disqualified. And just because it was somebody on Blackstone's team doesn't mean he gets to fight it. Like, those are the same rules that everybody has to abide by. You all managed to keep your eggs fine overnight.
I look over to Void. Do you have a way to, I don't know, look into the egg, do something to the egg? I don't know. They're definitely not something synthetic.
I don't know. If I tried to do anything, I'd probably break it.
That's true. Actually, maybe we can try and find the egg that already broke. Where do they keep all the broken eggs?
Well, you would have to talk to Lightbringer about that, but the contest starts in 5 minutes. If you want to go do that instead of participating, you would lose your points for this event.
Let's
we
not
can't do that.
Look who decided to join us.
Well, and you see me with the thermos and eating a Danish. Yeah, my mom woke me up, so I decided to come join you all.
Your mom?
Yeah.
You know what? Fine. Okay. But after this competition, we're going to find that correct egg. Something is going on here and I don't like it.
All right. I mean, if you're sure, it couldn't hurt to look.
So, and then I'm gonna pull you two kind of close away from Banjo for a moment.
That's very easy to do. Banjo is very not focused.
And I will. So I think we're gonna be fighting in the streets.
Oh, hell yeah.
Gives me a lot to work with.
I think we should get an upper hand here. And we can kind of look for someone or come around a corner and we can eliminate some competition.
Are we fighting each other?
No, not us.
Or I mean, like the teams. Are we fighting the other teams?
We're not going to fight the other teams. We just need to break some eggs.
Wait,
but the eggs are supposed to be bystanders.
Yeah, so why would we attack the bystanders?
But they're not bystanders, they're eggs.
But we're not actually fighting either.
But it doesn't say that we can't.
But that's
right. Right then. This is just a great dramatic moment to do this. You guys hear a voice say, "Challenge 1, the streets. You need to transport your bystander across a city street in the middle of an alien invasion." And what you guys see happen is Black Ops Widow, who is Dark Web's mentor, is using the supercomputer in her suit to generate a very realistic hologram of the streets of Halcyon City. And there are cars, and you guys see there is, on the very far side of the street, is the Aegis headquarters, which you just see there's a big flashing sign that says safe. And like above and in front of it, you see there's just a hole in the sky, and there are these half grasshopper, half human aliens coming out of it. They have, like, imagine a centaur, but the bottom, instead of being a horse, is a grasshopper. And they have 4 arms that all are bearing these spears with some kind of odd red metal on the top of it, and they're jumping towards you.
Trust me, the deck is stacked against us. We have no chance of winning.
Well, yeah, but we don't need to win. We just need to do good enough that we get scouted, right?
No, because the team A will be scouted long before we will.
But it's okay as long as we get there, right?
And you guys see that teams A and B, are starting to move through the hordes.
I will immediately just grab my stuff and grab my egg, and I'm gonna book it over, and I'm just gonna be like, you guys can help or not. I'm going over here.
I can't believe her.
Soviet Smasher just looks in her direction and goes, "Whatever you do, don't get caught."
Okay, Blue Cobalt, are you flying to get over there?
I am flying.
Okay, and you see these jumping grasshoppers are
And
they're jumping off the side of buildings, and you're having to duck and weave and make your way through. And I'm going to need you to make a roll to overcome an obstacle.
overcome an obstacle.
Sorry, that's the wrong thing. We're going to say directly engaging a threat, so it's 2d6 plus danger.
Well, that's 8, 9 or 9 minus 1.
Okay, so 8.
8.
So your choices as you're going through the grasshopper swarm is to resist or avoid you get to pick one. You can resist or avoid their blows. You can take something from them. You can create an opportunity for your allies, or you can impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition, which in this case would be the other teams. But you only get to pick one. So, if you pick like impress, you are going to take a condition for moving through the grasshopper tars.
So because I'm doing that, I can take something, but it can be from. Does it have to be from the person that I was going against, or can it be from one of the other teams?
It would be from the grasshoppers. So it'd have to be like either one of their spears, or
I will just avoid
like
all of it.
Okay, so you guys see Blue Cobalt takes off. She like shoots off like a rocket. Do you leave like a cloud of like blue smoke or anything behind you? Like, what does it look like when you fly?
Just a
like
small
this?
cloud of dust where I was standing, and I shoot straight into the air and straight to where the hidden spot is.
Okay, so you're flying through all the grasshoppers, heading towards the hidden spot. Your next action is going to be from the hidden spot. Any action you take against anyone besides Void and Soviet Smasher, because they know about the spot, you're going to have a +2 to your roll.
Okay.
The way we're doing action scenes like this is you get to pass the action to someone else. So you went, and you can pass it to Void or to Soviet Smasher or to me. If you choose not to toss it to me, when I get my next turn, I'm going to get an extra one. So every time you pass it to a teammate or a teammate passes it to you, I'm going to get an extra turn, and nobody can go twice before everyone goes once. So like if all three of you go first, I'm going to get to go 3 times when it's my turn.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to pass it to you.
Okay, so Cobalt Blue surges forward, and the grasshoppers are all coming forward. You see the other teams are starting to move through. Prismatic Princess is using her red force shield to protect her and Young Yokai from the oncoming swarm. And you see the Sanguinarian has cut his palms and is firing blasts at them. You see that actually what we're going to do is, that's what you saw the NPCs doing. I'm going to take my action, and the grasshoppers are going to try to get in front of Soviet Smasher. So she's going to have to go through them to move forward. So you're going to have to either figure out something else or directly engage a threat to start moving down the street. And I'm going to toss it to Soviet Smasher after my turn.
Great. So here's my plan, and you tell me what of it is viable or not. But I want to quickly yell to Void, catch, as I throw my egg back and try to barrel through both of them so I can clear the path.
Yelling and throwing, those are free actions. You can do those. That's fine. They're
Great.
not opposed, so we're just going to let you do those. Now, this moment is a chance to introduce another mechanic in the game, and that is the bull has a moment of truth, which is a chance for her powers to peak and take the main stage for a second. And that's when you have to physically overcome a threat. So if you choose to do that, you can do that. You actually would just get to narrate what it looks like as Soviet Smasher is going through and wouldn't have to roll dice. But you only get one moment of truth per game. So if you use it now, you won't get to use it later. But I just thought I'd let you know that's an option.
I have a feeling I'm going to need it later.
Okay. So,
So for now, I'm just going to try to barrel through like with the usual attack.
Okay, so you can do directly engage a threat unless your playbook has a better move that you can use. Like, I don't know which moves you picked for the bold moves.
Hold on. Let's go with directly engage a threat. Let's start slow and move it because I feel like there's going to be a lot more in there.
Okay, so go ahead and roll your 2d6 and add danger.
Perfect. 11.
Okay, that is a complete success without a drawback. So that means you're going to be able to progress one block. There's a total of 6 blocks you have to make it through to get to the other side.
Great. And to clarify, my intention with this move is to like clear the path so for the void for us to pass through.
So what you've done is void, you've moved forward one block, and void can move forward one block without rolling actively engaging a threat. So what if she decides she wants to take some kind of action against the Grasshoppers as she goes through, she's going to have a +2 to whatever roll she uses because she's your love interest, platonic love interest. So Soviet Smasher, is it going to be me going next or Void going next?
So again, the way it works is that if I pass it to Void, you're gonna go twice after. Is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah. I explained that rule a little bit poorly. When
I just wanted to recap. Yeah. Considering my egg is currently in the air.
Get 3 turns, but you could take 3 in a row, which could be really bad.
Exactly. Thank you.
Considering that my egg is currently in the air, I have a feeling that maybe right now would be good to pass it to Void instead.
Okay.
Right.
Void, it is nothing for you to catch that telekinetically. So if you want to do that, we can do that. That's not your action.
Okay. I catch it telekinetically. It slips itself underneath my cloak from the collar. And then
before you decide what you want to do, I want to remind you that you can take any of the basic actions here. So if you wanted to assess the situation, or if you wanted to look at what the other heroes were doing to try to figure out their weaknesses or what they're up to, all are options.
And I can still just move forward one block without any trouble, right? Because it was clear.
Yeah,
okay.
Because basically Soviet Smasher was like a battering ram going through that crowd of Grasshoppers.
Right, I see. Okay, so I'm gonna, move forward that one block with the 2 eggs, and then I think I'm gonna kind of just like look around, and as I'm like turning and making sure that nothing is getting too close to me, I'm just gonna do like broad telekinetic like pushes to try and move the ones coming in from like the sides, just kind of like push them a good couple feet back to give me some extra time.
Okay. So you're being defensive, is what you're doing. Okay. Are you trying to also defend Soviet Smasher as she's making her way forward?
So yes and no, because she looks like she's got it handled running forward, but the ones coming in from the sides are going to be a problem for me and her. So I'm trying to keep them off both of us from the sides. She's kind of got the front taken care of.
Okay, so what we're going to do is have you roll the basic move for defend. So it's 2d6 plus savior.
Okay. Oh, That is a 4.
Okay, so you have two options here. You can either not
Wait.
succeed.
Wait,
Oh.
I sorry, I just realized because I actually chose as one of my delinquent moves, troublemaker. And considering that kind of helped on my last action, that means I can give a +2 to my teammate for the roll.
Which gives her a 6, and you know that's your action. We can get her up to a 7, which is a success, if Cobalt Blue is willing to spend one of the 5 team points and can narrate something she's going to do to try to help Void. That's her choice, of course.
Okay. I will. Okay, so I know what I can do. Because there's some of them jumping in the air, correct?
Yeah.
Some of the. So I'm going to, as I'm flying through the air at very high speeds, I kind of look back and see that there's a couple of them that are about to swarm them, and I snatch off one of its heads and turn around and toss it as hard as I can to hit the other ones.
Okay, so that puts Void up to a 7 as the grasshopper head goes flying past her and actually knocks a couple to the side, and that means for my action, I am not going to be able to inflict a condition on the two of them, which is what I was planning on doing. So damn you meddling kids. So I'm going to take my other 2 actions for the turn. The first one is you guys see Clockwork, the Clockwork Warrior, turns into a steampunk motorcycle, and Blackstone hops onto him, and they're riding on the side of a building, and Blackstone is using his magician wand to try to knock grasshoppers away as they're going by. So that's their action. The next action is for the alien invaders. And since I cannot take the option to attack this turn, instead, I'm going to summon another ally through the portal. So you guys see a giant flying bombarder beetle comes through the portal. And you can see, the thermonuclear butt basically glowing and bending. And, that's going to be the end of my actions. And I'm going to throw it back to, we're going to stay in rotation for a second. So I'm going to throw it to Cobalt Blue, who you see, for your turn, you can take any of the basic moves you want. But Prismatic Princess and Young Yokai are about to pass you. They do have an energy shield up, and the Sanguinarian is also about to pass you. So if you wanted to try to break either of their eggs, you could do that using the directly engage a threat action. Or you can fight the monsters to try to make it easier for your team or move forward. I don't want you to feel like I'm railroading you. I'm just listing options.
True. I really need to break Prismatic Princess's egg.
Okay. So tell me how you think you're going to go about doing that from your hidden spot.
So, and you said they are completely encased in a shield?
Yeah, one of her powers is she can invoke the red part of the rainbow, and it puts an energy shield around her and anybody within 5 feet.
And it's completely surrounding?
It's like an egg, yeah. I don't have an obsession with eggs, I promise. That was just the easiest way to explain it.
It's very exception.
Exception. I'm retitling this game now.
And who is so and all 3 of them are in the bubble, or is it just
no? Just Young Yokai and Prismatic Princess because they're BFFs.
And the other one on their team is not.
Yeah, the Sanguinarian, he's on foot and firing blood beams at the grasshopper.
At the moment I watch him kind of turn away, I'm going to reach out and grab one of the grab a rock and just throw it literally through the egg.
Okay, I need you to roll 2d6.
And what am I adding?
You're gonna add danger.
And I'm going to add my +2,
Yes,
the additional +2.
indeed.
Well, that is a 9, 10, 11 -1 makes it a 10.
Okay, so what would happen is you'd be successful, but people would see you, would be the cost. But just as you throw it and Sanguinarian turns his head, a flashbang grenade comes out of one of the upper story windows where you are and temporarily blinds everyone. So the only people who know what you did are the Soviet Smasher and Void. And if somebody else, if they decide, they can try to use an action to try to figure out what's going on with the window. But who's going to go next? Sorry, I need to resolve your action.
Yes.
Your rock connects and you actually see a crack on his egg.
It doesn't actually go through with super strength.
It just cracks the egg. It actually bounces off.
Oh, shit.
But his egg's cracked, so technically he lost.
And yeah, that's my action. And then I will pass it to you, Elmer.
Okay, so I need both the Soviet Smasher and Void to roll 2d6 for me and add either Savior or Superior, whichever one you want. It's up to you.
Okay, that's gonna put me at an 8.
Okay.
5.
Okay. So
Can I? Never mind.
What? You can ask.
I was gonna ask about influence, right? I can affect somebody's role if I have influence over them. Is that right?
Yes. So
But it's just by 1, isn't it?
it's by 2, which would give her a 7, which is a partial success. You can do so. That does cost one of the team chips, so you guys will be down to 3. But it's your call.
If that's cool with everyone else in our group, sure. Yeah.
I'm seeing nods.
I'm good.
So
Thank you.
what happens is Void sees this and she points it out and shouts to Soviet Smasher to look. And the egg cracked. Then there was the flashbang that temporarily blinded everybody. And except the two of you who happen to be looking in the right spot. And you basically see a centipede emerge from the egg and just shoot up Sanguinarian's nose.
Nope.
And,
I told you those eggs were bad.
And my action that I was taking, that was not my action. But you guys see basically Lightbringer shoots down, grabs Sanguinarian by the back of the neck, and shoots back up. It's his job to remove people who fail, and the egg cracked. And you two were the only ones who saw the centipede, just so you know. And that was my action, so I'm going to pass it on. It seems like Soviet Smasher's ready to have a meltdown about these eggs, so I'm going to pass it to her.
Okay, so first of all, reacting this just like she looks back at Void and those like round eyes, she's like, see, I fucking told you those eggs were bad. And then she stops with an idea. I don't like this. Can you give me my egg?
Yeah, it floats out and like shoots into her hand.
Okay. What's about to happen, guys? What's about to happen is a fucking Hail Mary. But I have an idea. I'm so gonna regret this. So she looks at it, looks at the egg, looks straight at Lightbringer, and smashes the egg in front of her.
Oh man.
And she just waits for the Lightbringer. She's like ready for the Lightbringer to come.
Oh no.
You slam the egg down onto the hard ground and you see it hit and it bounces and rolls without cracking.
What the fuck?
Who's going next?
What do you mean? Who's going next? Like it didn't
That's
even
what-
crack?
No, it literally bounced and then rolled and then stopped.
Wait, so they gave what if no wait, my egg moved. That doesn't make sense. Okay, in that case, Elmer, you go next. I'm gonna figure this out. Shit.
Okay. So
Wait, did I
um,
just get lucky that like it didn't crack or something?
you don't know.
Ah!
Maybe you got lucky. Maybe they're harder to crack than you guys thought. You don't know.
Okay, I see.
But I'm going to need you to roll for take a powerful blow.
Sorry, me?
Yep. So you need to roll 2d6 and add how many ever conditions you have.
I don't think I have any conditions at the moment.
No, you don't, because Void removed your one condition
Which
earlier.
is thank you. 5. I'm not like one of these is gonna go into a dice jail.
This is bizarre because this is the one move that you're better off failing. So
Ah,
what ends up happening, remember how I described the bombarder beetle
yeah.
last time? It right after you slam your egg on the ground, its shot goes off and the Soviet Smasher is being struck by a thermonuclear laser, basically, but she is unharmed. So I need you to describe how it is she is not harmed. Is she just so tough she absorbs the laser? Does she move out of the way? What happens?
So, question: where does the laser hit me?
It would hit you if you don't move. It would cover your whole body, like it would hit your chest and your arms and your midsection.
So here's what happens. She tries to smash the egg, and then the ray starts to hit, and she looks up slowly and says, "This is nothing for Mother Russia." And she just slams two of her fists, and that blast, and that like reflects the beam.
Okay, that's definitely points for awesome. So I'm going to award you guys an extra team point. So your pool is back up to 4, and that's the end of my action. So I'm tossing it to Void. Void, you guys are still I want to recap. You guys are still in the second block. Blackstone Junior's in the same block. And then the third block ahead of you is where Cobalt Blue and the Sanguinarian and the Prismatic Princess and young Yokai are. And then the other group actually has apparently disappeared.
Curious indeed. Okay. So I think what I want to do is keep moving forward. You said there were cars, right?
There are cars. There's probably a bus or two. It's like what it would look like if a busy city street was suddenly the subject of a really weird alien invasion.
Right. I think so. You know, if there's like a bus in the middle of the street or something, I would like to. I kind of just like dive towards it, which you know, it almost just looks like an arrow because of the cloak and everything. And as I dive towards it. It almost looks for a second like I disappear, and the coat or the cloak kind of just like folds itself under the bus and wiggles around the ground towards the other side.
So
that's the body transmutation ability.
And your goal is to move to the next block. Is that what you're trying to accomplish with this?
Yes.
Okay, so basically you've turned into like the cloak, and you're moving underneath the cars and darting forward and avoiding the monsters. I need you to roll a 2d6, and this is again going to be directly engage a threat.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'll let you do defend instead if you want. So either one of the two works.
Let's see.
Defend is savior, directly engage a threat is danger.
Okay, I got +1 to both of those. So, wow, that's another 8.
Okay, so on an 8, you're moving forward, you're making it through, and you can either add one to the team pool, or well, actually the other two don't really make sense given the context. So we're going to say you move forward 1 block, which was your main goal, and the team pool is back up to 5.
Oh, nice.
And I have my last action, so I'm not going to give you an opportunity to toss it to someone else.
Gonna toss it to you anyway.
for my last action, you guys see a right in front of the building, the Aegis building that's the target. You guys see the shadow of the skyscraper elongate, and Penumbra and El Sapo and Dark Web appear right outside the building.
Ooh.
So it looks like Team 3 might be the first people to complete this challenge using a shadow teleportation ability. And I get to pass it to somebody. I'm kind of enjoying what wait, what did I do for my action? Yeah. Additionally, at this point, Prismatic Princess and Young Yokai enter the third block. Sanguinarian's gone, so it's just the two of them. And I'm going to toss it to Cobalt Blue. You're behind them. You could try to do something to one of their eggs if you got through the energy shield. The +2 bonus probably isn't going to do a lot for you from this distance.
No, probably not. So at this point, and where is the Soviet Smasher?
She is in block. Oh, sorry, I messed all this up. I should have made an image for this. I'm sorry. She's in block 2. You and Void are in block 3. Prismatic Princess and Young Yokai are in block 4. Blackstone Jr. and Clockwork are in block 3 with you and Void. And then the last group, like I said, is in block 6.
Okay, and I did not see Soviet Smasher throw her egg.
It wasn't hiding it, so maybe.
Yeah, you saw it. You were probably looking back towards them because you were helping them before. So
apparently, I'm and at this point, she's just like, she doesn't want to win. So so I will. Am I close to Void?
Yeah, you and Void are in the same area. So yeah, you can get right up on Void if you want without taking an action.
I can see that it's in a cloak, so I will just grab the cloak, because I think you're in the cloak. I don't know, and I would just fly by and just grab it and just go straight towards the exit.
What about me?
You threw your egg.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Void, are you going to resist her picking you up at all?
In character, my character would, but I think this is fun. So I think it'd be fun if this just happened.
Okay, so Cobalt Blue, I need you to roll directly engage a threat.
And that's going to be danger?
Yes.
That is going to be a 6 minus 1 is a 5.
Okay, so team can spend pool if they want to help you. I think it'd make a lot of sense for Void to help you if she wanted to, since she's right there and relying on it. It's up to you guys.
I would be more than willing.
Actually, Void, who did you take influence over earlier? You took over Soviet Smasher, right?
Yeah,
But you can give Cobalt Blue a +1. She's still gonna fail unless Soviet Smasher is willing to help too.
Okay, yeah.
Of course they will.
Okay. So what does that look like? You basically saw her grab Void and start shooting forward, and the grasshoppers are all trying to hit her. And what is Soviet Smasher doing from where she is to try to assist?
So I'm gonna be real fancy here. As I see all those claws, and arms try to reach him, she's going to grab one of the claws and try to fend off the other one, kind of using their own forces against them to kind of get their attention on me and get Void and Cobalt Blue out to safety.
Okay, so you're basically taunting the enemies to try to get them to attack you instead of them. And Void, what are you doing to assist?
I wanted just the whole big group of Grasshoppers. Was that what you said it was? Grasshopper? Yeah. The whole group of them that are, or at least a big chunk of them that are looking towards us. I want to just make them, it'll probably just last for a second, but just forget while they're there why they're here in the first place with that memory manipulation. like they'll probably
This
remember
is-
in a
well,
second.
Your help works automatically, so that's
Okay.
fine. But I want you to roll 2d6 because I have an idea and I want to see if anything comes of it.
Am I adding anything?
That's a great question. I always forget what the labels are.
It should be
You know what?
Let me do that.
This would be savior.
Okay. It's a 6 then.
Okay. So yeah, you successfully make them forget, so they stop trying to oppose momentarily, and that puts you and Cobalt Blue into the 4th band. And Cobalt Blue, this was all spawned from your turn. So who's going next?
I think I'm actually gonna throw it to Soviet because and give you 2 turns. I think that because I think she needs to get out of the situation.
Yeah, because I'm kind of fucked.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Soviet Smasher.
You are being stormed by Grasshoppers at a minute because your last action was successful.
Perfect. So I'm gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone, or if you will, with 1 egg, because I'm gonna take my egg and try to bash through them with it.
Okay. Are you unleashing your powers, or is this just a direct direct threat? Direct reaction to a threat?
I'm gonna ask the team here: is now the time to unleash the power, or is there gonna be an? I feel like there's a baddie somewhere at the end.
I kind of think you need to have your unleash it, just
Yeah.
power through it.
Right, because like you don't really care how many of these things die, right? You're just trying to use all your power to get there, wherever there is.
True. Let's go. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, this is your one use of unleash your powers. I do need you to. I'm doing a little riff here on the way the rules normally work, but I need you to roll 2d6 for me
All right, here we go.
and add your danger.
14.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what the end result is. You need to tell me how you get there.
Bring it on.
Okay. You make it all the way to the last band with whatever you do. You are not injured, and you are going to give 1 forward to each of your teammates in the process.
1 full what?
1 forward. So that means that the next thing that they do, they get a +1 on, and it's unconditional. It's whatever they decide they want to do.
Perfect. Okay. Do I know how's the egg doing at the end? Or we have yet to
Yes.
find out?
Yes, you will not break your egg because this is you unleashing your powers, and you will succeed.
Okay, got it. So, narration moment. So, Soviet Smasher picks up her egg, sees all of those monsters around her, and goes, "This is the fun part of the job." And she just starts. She just picks up the egg in front of her and just throws it into one of the enemies in front of her, and she just starts barreling through. I mean, barreling as in like she does not even like a tank style. She doesn't even see what is in front of her. She just bashes them with her elbows, with her fist, with her head as she rolls through one at a time. At some point, she goes up and starts to jump through one of them at a time. And at some point, she makes eye contact with Void and Cobalt and screams out, "Hand!" as she like jumps from one of them and swings like an Oleana style to land a perfect landing with the egg right in front of her, and just looks up.
And that's exactly what happens. And you've made it to the final band, so you got some points for your team. And they have their forward when they take their next action. You actually hear a little bit of applause from the sidelines from the older heroes who are watching. And what are you doing? What are you doing? Not what are you doing? Who's next?
I think considering that you're gonna get 2 turns, we're just gonna get her with now. Elmer, it's your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to start out by Cobalt Blue. You are being swarmed by the Grasshoppers, and I need you to take a powerful blow.
Ooh, go ahead.
So you roll 2d6, and you add however conditions how many conditions you have, which I believe is 0.
I have none.
Okay.
That's a 9.
A 9. Unfortunately, this move higher is bad. So
Yes. However,
It's
are
actually-
they far more? Are they farther greater powder than me?
No, they're actually much weaker than you. But you do have your -1. Well, you have your 1 forward. You can apply it now to change your 9 to an 8.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in order to get a better result, you need to get all the way down to a 6. So
Okay. That's
I'm
gonna-
not really
that's
seeing
not
a way
impo-
you can
that's
pull
not-
that out.
Yeah, that's not possible.
Can I, considering all the stuff that just happened, can I also apply my, sorry, what is it called? I forgot.
Influence?
Yeah,
Your
no,
rival?
the troublemaker. Because when I help a teammate through destructive criminal or rule breaking actions, I give them a +2.
You know what? I think that's valid because the way you broke the rule was you basically were throwing your bystander at enemies. I think that's
kind of what
breaking the
happened.
rules.
I mean,
Gives you
hey, the X still
delinquent.
didn't crack, so
And yeah, that'll get you to a success
8, 7,
if you
6.
spend your 1 forward.
Yeah, well, I'll spend my 1 forward.
Okay, so basically the things were swarming you, and when Soviet Smasher did her high five, like you got the high five, and basically you looked and you just end up like roundhouse punching a group of them that were about to hit you and Void. Since you have super strength, that's how I picture it happening. If you have a better narration, you can replace
No,
it.
that sounds fantastic.
Okay, so that was my first action. My second action is I'm moving Prismatic Princess and Young Yokai forward an extra band, so they are only 1 band away from putting you in last place. Well, you are Blackstone Jr. in last place, because you guys you're ahead of Blackstone Jr. at the moment, so take that back. You wouldn't be last place, but you'd only beat that team.
Yeah, that okay.
So, and those were my 2 actions. So I am going to hand it off to Void.
All right.
Okay. So how close is Soviet Smasher to me?
She's 2 city blocks ahead of you.
Oh, you got that far.
She's
Okay.
all
yeah,
the way.
I kind of barreled through.
Okay,
She's
sir.
done.
I didn't. Okay,
He's at
I
the
see.
end.
I see. Could I, using my body transformation ability, do you think I could make the cloak function as like, since we're already flying, do you think I could use the cloak to like propel us, almost like a bird flapping its wings or something?
That sounds great to me. Do you want to directly engage the enemies, or are you trying to do defend again so that you guys won't risk damage?
Well, I guess defend, since the real intent here is to just move us forward faster.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm having you 2 move as a unit. So if you are successfully in your direct to engage a threat, both you and Cobalt Blue will move up forward a band and be tied with the Prismatic Princess and Young Yokai.
Okay. Okay.
It looked like you wanted to say something, Cobalt.
I was gonna say, well, you could also like mess with you. You can reach through their shield. I can't.
I can reach through their shield. Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean.
You have psychic abilities.
Oh, right.
So she's encouraging you to attack. I picture like
No.
her holding the cloak and whispering to you that you could take them down.
Nope. That's none of my business.
Okay, so
My
go
business
ahead.
is getting to the end. But I'm not going to be too great at it because that's 6.
You have your 1 forward from.
I have my 1 forward. It's a
Soviets.
7.
Okay, so that means that you go forward, and basically you have a choice. One of the 2 of you is going to take 1 condition. Are you taking the condition, or is Cobalt Blue taking the condition?
I can cope.
Okay,
So you haven't had any conditions, right?
No. I also generally I don't see myself as the frontliner type, so I'm okay with this.
So you're basically, Cobalt Blue was shooting forward like a missile, like the way she flies through the air, and then you're cloak turns to these giant wings that are just pulling her forward even faster, like the two of you working together. And in so doing, the grasshoppers are like jumping and they're striking at your cloak, which is, you at the moment. And it ends up inflicting a condition. Are you afraid of what's happening to you? Are you angry? Are you insecure about whether or not you can stand for these attacks? What do you think makes sense for your character? And have her say something in response to this damage.
Okay. Well, she's taken this whole the egg is a civilian thing like very, very seriously. So the thought of like breaking it is very terrifying. So yeah, she's probably like scared of what's going on, but less of for herself and more for the egg.
So, oh no, my egg, I'm gonna lose, like that sort of thing.
No, just oh no, the bystander.
Oh no, the bystanders are gonna get hurt. And Cobalt Blue is just like,
I'm just shaking my head going, it's not a real
Yes, it is.
bystander.
okay.
It's real to me.
Void so
Okay.
much.
And in this set, I had one more action. So what I am going to do is Void, you are going to take a powerful blow. So I need you to roll 2d6 and add any conditions you have.
Okay, and from that, I have the afraid condition from the last thing that happened.
Yeah.
Oh, I dropped my, okay, I have another d6. Wow, that's nice just having spare dice right there on my desk for when I drop one. 7. Oh, and I add my, yeah. All right,
So
so I
you
add
end up
one
with-
condition. So that's an 8?
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's not good
yeah,
for this move.
right, forgot about that part.
Okay, so what happens is you're going along and a stray red laser hits you. And you can either lash out verbally, provoking a teammate to foolhardy action, or you can give your ground, which is going to give me a bonus the next action I take, or you can work straight past the pain and take an additional condition.
Yeah, I'm gonna cope. I'll take the extra condition.
Okay, so you're going to have to take either insecure or hopeless from this one.
I'll take insecure.
Okay, and Soviet Savior, since you're in front of them and looking back, could you roll 2d6 for me? And it's unmodified, just a straight roll.
10.
10. That laser did not come from one of the monsters. It came from a window.
Oh, you assholes. Which window? Can I tell which window?
Yes, you can see it's about 2 stories up near where Cobalt Blue had been hiding earlier.
Is it my turn?
You know what? Since it's my action, I get to pass it on. Yes, it is your turn.
Well, considering that there is a window, I'm pretty sure we all know what's about to happen. I'm gonna pick up my egg and I'm gonna throw it in that window.
Okay, I need you to roll 2d6 and add your danger.
Okay.
And this is
7.
gonna be a very difficult check for you.
So the total is 7. So I'm asking if I could receive help.
We're back up to 5 of those.
Yeah,
cool
we're back up to
tokens,
5.
right?
No, we're down
Before
to
you
3.
guys-
We're down to 3.
Oh,
Before you guys spend the tokens, the 2 of you can see this, but Soviet Savior cannot. She rears back to whip her egg across at the window, and like jetting down from the air is Lightbringer, who's about to grab her wrist. Do you guys want to spend a token to try to do something to stop him from stopping her?
Yes.
okay. I can't get on this guy's bad side. We have a job to do. I'm sorry.
Okay, so Soviet Savior, you grab your You grab your egg, you throw it, and you suddenly feel the strongest, most painful grip on your wrist that you have ever felt in your life. And you cannot throw the egg. And you hear a man's voice say, "You know the rules. Stop trying to make a scene."
Stop trying to make a scene. What the fuck did you guys put in those eggs?
We're going to cut it there because he doesn't give you an answer, but Lightbringer is standing there and holding your wrist, and he's glaring down at you. And this is an adult.
I'm glaring right back.
This is an adult that's trying to intimidate you. So he's trying to exert influence over you. I need you to roll 2d6.
You see, I hate to break it to you, but I also have the don't care delinquent move, which is whenever I reject someone's influence, I add +2 to my roll. So
okay, so you're gonna reject his influence.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I need you to roll 2d6 and add your superior and your +2.
What's superior? Hold on. Eight.
Okay.
The total is 8. Yeah.
You prevent him from changing your labels, and he growls under his throat like, "You need to stop this right now." And you actually see his eyes, they blink the wrong way, like vertically
Oh
instead
fuck
of
no.
horizontally.
Nope.
And that is the end of your turn. Who is going next?
What? That's my grandfather. Wait, they blinked the wrong way? Okay.
Katya, who's next?
Who's next?
I will say, I want to make it clear to Cobalt Blue and Void. You do not see that,
Okay.
and you just see them talking. And apparently, he is strong enough that Soviet is unable to move her arm and throw the egg like she was trying to do.
Who are you
So,
throwing it to?
Again, and I'm gonna, Elmer, I think I'm just gonna throw it back to you. We're not giving you 2 moves in a row again. We're just gonna throw it back to you.
Okay. For my move, because I have to worry about everyone on the field, I feel like I'm ignoring Blackstone Jr. So him and Clockwork continue to drive on the side of the building to try to catch up to you guys. They still end up being a band behind. But after I do that, I'm going to hand this off to Cobalt Blue.
And we only have one more band, correct?
Yeah. And you guys are tied with your arch rivals.
And only one. If one of us any one of us passes it, we will be ahead of them. Correct?
It's whoever's entire team makes it across the line.
Well,
first.
entire team. Well,
Their
they
team
already
only.
lost one.
Well, if the 2 of them remaining in the competition make it across, they'll beat you.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna use it because we're getting towards the end. I am going to unlock my moment of truth.
Okay. And I would say Prismatic Princess is someone way more powerful than you. So the moment of truth makes sense.
So what I'm going to do is can I swing around one of the other buildings and push a building on her with my super strength, just kind of like kick it as I go over and just push a building over on her and then continue forward.
This is not a can you moment. This is
what I'm doing. Okay.
So you have narrative control.
So I'm going around this huge building, and I'm as we're kind of just swinging around, I'm just going to stop and kick it for a second and continue on.
Wait, please tell me that was the building with that window.
No, that's further back.
Fine, fair enough.
The question I have for you is: are you knocking out one of the buildings that's in the way of young Blackstone and TikTok?
Actually, it will clear the way. Yes. So that they will even be ahead of her.
Oh, so you just want her to be last?
Oh, I want her to be dead last.
Okay, so you dart out of the way, and I'm going to say that there's a convincing enough number of grasshoppers that you knock over the building, and it just looks like you were trying to stop them, but it does smash down onto the Prismatic Princess and young yokai. And it's great to have an energy field, but when the hit is big enough to hit the whole field, it smashes them down into the street. And young like they're down there. You succeed and you move forward one band, so you and Void are one band away from finishing. And I need you to tell me who goes next.
I will send it to you, Elmer.
Okay, so what happens is as the building hits them, young yokai activates her powers for the first time and turns both her and the Prismatic Princess into spectral entities for a moment. So the building falls through them. However, they were still panicked enough and far enough off course that you delay them so they don't move forward, but they do manage to save their eggs. So you do succeed in getting out ahead of them. You do not succeed in destroying both eggs in one blow, which I'm assuming is what you were trying to do.
I was trying to do multiple things at the same time by taking out the eggs and making them last place, but
But sorry, they're last. I used my action to prevent their eggs from shattering. And that means I only get one action, so I got to go right before you. So Void, it's you.
Okay, so we're really close to the end, right? So I think what I want to do to try and make this a little bit easier is use my powers to kind of clear some obstacles out of the way, just push telephone wires out of our flight path so we don't have to go around them, or maybe knock down street lamps that we can just kick off of. Really try and use everything I have to push us through to the end. Let nothing be in our way.
Okay, so that's telekinesis, and you're trying to make a path for you. So I will let you choose. You can either unleash your powers to change the environment, or you can use directly engage a threat to just continue moving forward.
Okay, actually, let me look at something really quick. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use unleash my powers. That is a 5, 6, 7.
Okay, that is a partial success. So you unleash your powers and you've made a route for yourself, and you guys move forward one band. I'm not going to inflict a cost on this because I don't think it's really appropriate. And that puts you guys in second place, right behind Team D. What I'm going to do, Void, since you are the last person on the team to take an action, and what's the last round of this obstacle, who's going to come in right after you?
Are you just asking me whose turn I want to throw it to?
I guess kinda. Do you want Prismatic Princess and young yokai to be directly behind you, or do you want Blackstone Jr. and TikTok to be directly behind you?
Blackstone Jr. and TikTok.
Okay. And here's your cost. You can have your wish of them going through at the cost of filling in a third condition, or Prismatic Princess and young yokai can come in next. That's how we're doing the cost for your 7.
Would I get to would I get to pick what condition it is?
Yes.
Oof. Okay, I'm gonna mark my third condition.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm gonna do. None of these really fit super well, so I'm gonna do guilty.
Okay, so you feel guilty about manipulating things so Prismatic Princess and young yokai lose.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so you guys make it to the end, and the Jack Campbell appears and just announces the point totals from everybody making it through. And since you three and Team C are the only ones that had all three members make it through, you guys are clearly the front runners now. However, I have a feeling that during this announcement, there is a good chance that Soviet Smasher is going to make a scene. So I'm going to give her
Oh,
opportunity.
you know it. You know it.
Okay. So, everybody's made it through, and Campbell appears and starts to make his speech. What are you doing?
First of all, how did that
Lightbringer-
moment with the moment with Lightbringer, with he was holding, how did that end?
He's still there, and he's still holding your wrist.
Right. Well, first I'm gonna actually, okay, so the egg is still in my hands, but he's holding my wrist now, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna try to smash the egg over his head,
Okay.
like
I
the
need
Thing
you-
style.
Okay. I need you to roll 2d6 and add danger, because this is a dangerous situation to put
Oh, I
yourself
bet it is. 7, perfectly on the dot, 7.
Okay.
And like the moment I'm smashing, I'm like getting ready to catch one of these things.
Here's the deal with the devil. Your choice
Okay.
is you can succeed at smashing it, but take a condition, or you could fail at smashing it for your 7.
I'll take a condition.
Okay. So you look at him and you slam your head forward into the egg. And you've done this before, but this is like slamming your head into concrete, but the egg shatters. And you see that a like half-formed alien centipede embryo falls out of it. And Jack Campbell of Aegis begins screaming, and you see like fins burst out of his skin, and like spines going along his back all burst out, and he is some kind of alien lizard person. Void, would you be so kind as rolling 2d6 and adding either adding freak to it for me?
2d6 add freak. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. It's a 14. Wow.
Okay.
That feels better than rolling a nat 20 somehow.
The creature that stands before you is a type of mind control monster from the same dimension that the demons that grant your powers were originally called from. They are rivals with the source of your powers. And you know that somewhere nearby there is a mother demon. Jack is a warrior, but he is not the leader. You have the opportunity to take your moment of truth here if you want, to do some crazy magic to take care of the appearing legion of lizard people and Jack, and find out where the hive mother is, or we can role play it out. Up to you.
Okay, so you said that the spines were like coming out of his back, right?
Yes.
I want to use my telekinesis to literally, like, just as they're like still coming out and like almost fully formed, I just want to shove all of them straight back in. And since they're fully formed, I imagine that just like totally crushing up his body, like maybe like bruising his rib cage or whatever. Just boom, those have been shoved into your body.
So this is a comic book. So there's some splash page, and your character has to look awesome while you do this. What does the splash page look like?
Okay, so the cloak is still there, just like dangling in the wind, right? But one part, so like the cloak has sleeves. She just doesn't really use them. They usually kind of just hang there. But one sleeve kind of just like raises and takes shape, and there's like a purple light coming out from underneath it. And you see the one gloved left hand come out of that arm, and kind of just do like a swat, like a light like swatting motion, and light bursts out from underneath that glove. You can see a little bit of the marking that goes up her arm, also that's the source of the flashing, and bone bits just shoot everywhere.
And basically ripples come off of you,
Okay.
and all of the adult heroes here, including Banjo and Lightbringer, go through the same transformation and have the spikes bending in and harming them. The same thing happens to Armory and Sanguinarian. And as you and Cobalt Blue and the Soviet Smasher stand together, behind you, you can see Young Yokai and Prismatic Princess. And then on the other side, Clockwork and Blackstone Jr. And it's the cameras behind you, and you can see the lake in the distance, and a giant lizard-like creature with a frilled face and multiple arms comes up out of the lake and is howling. And it is the other eggs are being smashed by the other heroes. What we are going to do is, this is the final confrontation, and each of you are going to have 2 parts to your turn. You're going to have your hero's turn, and then you guys get to pick an NPC set of heroes and decide what they're doing as support. So I've decided, since she hasn't had an action since the race ended, we're going to start with Cobalt Blue. And what are you doing as this demon appears first?
Well, I just kind of stare at him for a moment. That's not supposed to happen. And then I see all the other ones, and then I see my grandfather with spikes in his back. And I kind of just stand there for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot a hugely important detail.
Oh.
Even though it's a lizard, behind it there's a fan of spines, almost like a peacock tail. And in each tail there's a chamber. And in the chamber you can see there's a hero in each one. And in the very top spine above the monster's head, your grandpa is in one of the chambers.
So I am immediately, as soon as I see that he's in one of these chambers, I am going to just superhero straight towards it.
Nice.
And I am going to use my unleash power.
I know that invulnerability is your foci among your legacy. What are you attempting to accomplish with this unleash your power?
I am literally trying to just smash right through it, because I know he can take the hit, and just smash off the one feather with him in it.
Can we make you think a little bigger on this one? Why don't you try to unleash your powers to smash all the feathers?
Okay, we can do all the feathers too. I was just aiming for the one because he could take care of it by himself if he, but because that's what I was thinking. But I'm
thinking like a Ms. Marvel moment where you just fly through all of the chambers,
and
like
just
how
kind
she
of
flies
just go
through
one
the ships,
through each, and yeah. Okay,
using your body as a battering ram.
I like that idea too. And I will just continue just smashing through one, and then the other, and then the other, through every single one of them, so that we can have, everybody would be free.
Okay, so I need you to roll 2d6 plus freak.
2d6 plus freak. Okay, that's a 0. Because I am not a freak. That is going to be a 9.
Okay, so that's a partial success. Unless somebody's going to spend it. Actually, it's a partial success unless 2 assist actions are done, costing 2 tokens.
We have 2 left.
I'll do it.
Void, how are you assisting?
Let's see. Maybe look back at my powers. Okay. As so are these people conscious inside the chambers?
They appear to be in some kind of stasis.
Okay. So maybe tell me if this is all right. When the chambers break, I want to use memory manipulation to just pull them straight up to speed.
How about before the chambers break, you remind them of who they are so they can help break out of them?
There we go. That's great.
I'm all about rule of awesome, so I hope you don't mind me
Sure.
making suggestions.
No, not at all. That's great.
The rule of awesome
Okay.
is amazing.
And Soviet Smasher, what are you going to do to help, your wonderful friend Cobalt?
Does words of encouragement count as help? Because I can
Yes.
do either or. Oh, great. So the moment all of this shit appears around us, Soviet Smasher just looks around and goes, "Heroes, this is the real test for us. Cobalt, show them how it's done, bitch."
I hear like heavy metal music start playing as she takes
Yep.
off.
The Doom
Right.
2016 soundtrack.
So you actually you succeed. You go through, all of the heroes are busted out. So that's actually one of the milestone achievements I had for this battle. So that's a big deal. Cobalt Blue, you also get an action from one of the other groups of young heroes. So I need you to pick which one it is and tell me what they're going to do.
I'm gonna say Blackstone, and I'm gonna say that he's going to use magic to shrink this thing into a small little tiny bug, just like.
Okay, that's a little bit out of his league.
Okay,
but
well,
what I'm going to that's fine. I'm going to just narrate a little bit about what happens. What happens is he takes off his magician hat, like the top hat, and he waves his wand around it, and it makes the hat huge, and it just drops on the alien queen, and it spins around for a second, and when it pulls off, you see she's about half the size she was previously. So he shrank her. And then I need to know, is me, the alien queen, going next, or is it going to be Void or
So now is
Soviet
it the
Smasher?
same? Is it the same thing where you get same?
If you pass it to a teammate, when I get a turn, I get an extra action. I need to always end up with the same number of actions as you guys.
Okay. I will pass it to you because now we have all the superheroes free. So
Okay. The alien is attempting to use its mind powers on Void because it's upset that she did the same. So Void, I need you to resist a powerful blow.
Got this. You got this.
And I have to add my conditions, right?
That is correct.
Yep.
Can I help?
well, maybe we're out of pool.
Okay.
Oh no. Wait, but I have technically I still have the, what is it called? Because I chose her as my love. So
Your bull love thing.
yeah, the troublemaker. So that's +2.
So
Okay.
This case -2.
so that's gonna be oh wait, you said it was -2?
Yeah, it'll be her
Ooh.
ability gives you a -2.
Okay. So that
Wait, why
brings it down
minus?
to to a 7 total.
Okay. So the alien queen is rummaging around in your brain, and
Oh,
she is very strong and it's very confusing. But your good friend Soviet Savior is shouting to you while this is happening to remind you about who you are. And she does not manage to take complete
can I
mental
say
dominance
what I
of you.
say?
Go for it.
So seeing Void just in this distress, she looks up and goes, "You can still save them all, Void. You were chosen for a reason. You can do this. Show them how it's done."
You get absolutely no expression or indication of happiness because I am in fact an inanimate cloak at the moment. But thank you.
Okay, so here are your choices, because it is a partial success. I really need to bookmark this. You can either lash out verbally to provoke a teammate into foolhardy action, or take advantage of your influence to inflict a condition on them instead of yourself. Or you can give the opposition an opportunity, which means I'm going to get to take a second action if you make that choice. Or you can struggle past the pain and take 2 conditions, which will, I believe, will put you at 5 and you'll be unconscious.
That would put me at 5. Let's see. All right. So if I took advantage of my influence to inflict a condition, I would have to roll something for that.
You would just say really shitty things to Soviet Savior that would make her either afraid, angry, hopeless, or guilty.
I understand. I'm inflicting a condition on one of my teammates. Okay. Yeah, okay. I think I'm just gonna give ground then.
Okay. So the alien queen has temporarily paralyzed a void, and then she is lashing out with her tail at Cobalt Blue. So I need Cobalt Blue to take a powerful blow.
Okay. Let's see what happens. That is a 4 plus danger, right? Or plus conditions, right?
Plus the number of conditions you have.
I don't have any, so it's going to be a.
So
4.
that is a complete success. So her smacking you with the tail, you just withstand. You can explain to me what that looks like.
So I also have a special ability that when never give up, never surrender.
Oh, okay.
Whenever I take a powerful blow from someone from far greater power than me, I can use this move instead of the basic move.
Awesome.
And I actually roll that plus Savior, and on a hit, I stand strong and choose one of the abilities.
Okay, so after you add Savior, what do you end up with?
So it's going to be 4. It'll be a 6.
Okay. You know what? I am going to be benevolent because I'm so excited about how well the charity stream is doing. So we're going to give you a partial success. So you can either create an opportunity or opening against the attacker, which will let you or one of your teammates take an extra action right now. It doesn't count. You can rally from the hit and add 1 to the team pool, which you guys have 0 right now, so that might be
0.
helpful.
That actually might be useful.
Or you can keep the attacker's attention so that on my next action, she can only try to do something to you.
I will. I think I'm going to rally from the hit and then give 1 to our pool.
Okay.
Which
So
goes back to 1.
Okay, and that was my action. So I have to pass it on to somebody. I believe Soviet Savior is the only one who hasn't had a turn yet.
Nope.
So it's your turn. What's up?
Lovely. So,
Oh wait,
okay,
Void hasn't had a turn either. So we need to
Neither
make
one
sure
of
she
them
gets
have.
one.
Wait, that's true. Yeah.
But I'm still going Soviet Savior. But just make sure I don't cheat Void out of one of her turns. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Okay.
Cool. So we have Cobalt Blue dealing with the big one. And we have first of all, I want to see if there's any like glaring weaknesses or anything that like I can analyze from the enemy.
So you're doing assess the situation. Okay. Roll 2d6 and add superior.
7. Wait, no,
Okay.
8. Sorry, 8.
Okay, so you get to pick one of the following. You can ask me, what here can I use to defeat the enemy? What here is the biggest threat? What here is the greatest danger? Who here is most vulnerable to me? Or how could we best end this quickly?
Let's go with the first one.
What here can I use to harm the bad guy? I'm going to say you look at you're examining the alien queen, and you realize that her carapace doesn't cover her soft underbelly, so strikes there are more effective. And you can shout that to the team, and then you get to have one of the other heroes do something.
Perfect.
So Prismatic Princess is available with Young Yokai, or Penumbra and Team. Sorry, we're getting really close to time, so I'm not going to take
Gotcha.
time to look up details.
Okay, I'll make it quick. So Soviet Smasher just runs forward and waves down to Cobalt Blue. The belly, the belly is the weak spot. After that, I'm
Is it
actually
me?
going to, huh?
Oh, sorry. That was your action, so.
Oh, that's well. Because I wanted to ask if I could
Oh.
just go to Void and check in to see if I can release some of those conditions. Because goddamn, or
Oh,
would
so
that be an
you're-
action?
That would be an action. So are you having the other group of heroes do that? Because they could try to.
No. I actually I wanted to do that. So
Oh, sorry.
no.
Like,
Question. Then in that case, is it possible for me to not take the turn for the other hero, but instead take that moment for myself to try and help Void just for the roleplay moment?
I really
if
want to
not-
let you, but I want to
Sounds
be
good.
fair. Sorry.
Fair, no, very valid. Sounds good. In that case, I'm gonna go with Yokai.
Okay.
What are my options there?
You can have them do any of the basic moves. So you could have them attack. You could have them try to support Void. You could have them look for more information about the situation. Like any of the basic moves are available.
They could support Void. See if they can get some of those conditions off.
Okay, would you roll 2d6 for me? And I will add Prismatic Princess's
9.
mundane. Okay, so they come over and Prismatic Princess actually uses her yellow light of calming on Void, and they work together. Young Yokai and her work together to remove 2 of your conditions. So let me know which 2 are gone.
All right. I'm getting rid of directly engage a threat, or sorry, getting rid of afraid, which affects my ability to directly engage a threat, and insecure.
Okay, and Soviet Savior, is it me or Void going next?
Oh, it's you.
Okay, so the alien Queen Mother is again trying to take a great blow against Cobalt Blue. Sorry, she's aware of the legacy and views you as a big threat.
Oh. All right, hit me again.
And this is acid breath from the many mouths on her upper chest.
That is a 4 again. Well, actually, yeah, because I don't have any conditions. That's a 4 again, a 3 and a 1. So,
Your invulnerability.
my
is awesome.
invulnerability is absolutely paying off here. Apparently, I just
Okay.
kind of fly through the acid, and as I come out, I'm like, it's just acid, no big deal.
And that means I have to pass it to Void because she's the only one who hasn't gone yet. So Void, what's up?
Okay, so I have this cool ability. I have these things called doom signs from my playbook, and one of them that I have gives me the ability to mark my doom track and use one of the adult moves.
Okay, so what are you doing?
So what I'm going to do is wield my powers, or no, you know what? I'm going to try and overwhelm a vulnerable foe by I think I'm gonna transform back into like an actual person and sort of slide out of Cobalt Blue's grasp. And as I'm falling through the air, I use my telekinesis and I make myself a little like platform. And when I land, you can see this this inky like black liquid kind of just fall from my face, splatter onto the platform I've made for myself. And then she's basically gonna start just like shadow boxing, but with every like punch that she throws off in the distance, the giant bug monster is going to like feel the hit with my
So
telekinesis.
she's doing some telekinetic whoop ass from her little platform.
Yeah, you know, it's just like the whole
It's
got
like-
the whole kickboxing gambit, you know, like boom boom, kick, you know.
2d6 plus danger, please.
Ooh, okay.
I like it.
That, that's an 11.
Oh, you guys actually see her blows are landing. The alien queen's like guts are ripped open, and she falls back down into the lake by unanimous consent, and a cheer goes up amongst the crowd, and they declare you the new Silicone team to protect Halcyon City.
Yeah, then I'm just gonna turn back into the cloak and just let myself fall back into the city, swaying in the wind.
And that is the end of this Masks game. We're just a few minutes over. I want to give each of you an opportunity to remind the audience who you are. Also, tell me when you do what you thought the most awesome thing tonight was. And we're going to start with Katya.
So thank you so much, everyone. It has been such a blast. It was my first time playing Masks, and I have to say I have been doing it with the most wonderful team ever. Because oh my god, I think we made the best team. Again, my name is Katya Saturday. I'm an actress and a writer and team member of the cast member of the amazing D20 Tales. You can find us on all podcast platforms. If you love watching D&D and TTRPG games, you're gonna love the podcast, I promise you. And thank you so much for joining this amazing cause, and specifically to the Lion Knight. Thank you so much for inviting me to be a part of it. It has been a blast. My favorite part was absolutely the telekinetic ass whooping that just happened. Amber, that was spectacular.
That was pretty awesome.
Okay, and Kristen, you're next.
So I am also from D20 Tales, and I'm an actress on the show. I'm also do a bunch of other things behind the scenes, producer, talent lead, bunch of the other things, so you can find us everywhere she just said. My favorite part of this whole thing was I think it was when she had when she unleashed her power and just like literally ran through all of them using the egg to just bash people. That was amazing.
I enjoyed that quite a bit too. Amber, you're next. I'm really trying to get us wrapped up.
Yeah, of course. Once again, my name's Amber Martino. I don't have a huge place in the tabletop community or whatever. I'm still invested in all of this though, because I'm going to be studying law, hopefully to work with the ACLU to make sure that the reasons we are here tonight don't keep happening, hopefully. But if you really want to, you can still follow me on Twitter at FloorMat1000. I just post stuff about myself and media that I'm currently watching. My favorite part about the game was honestly probably the fact that I got a panicked phone call from Katya an hour before it happened asking me to learn a game system I've never heard of. So but also the fact that I was just snatched out from under a bus. That's kind of awesome too.
That was pretty good.
I'm going to say, Amber, it has been great playing with you. You are always welcome at my table if I do any more events like this. If you want to remain like a home gamer, totally understand. If you decide you want to get more involved in TTRPG online community, I think you'd be a great addition. I've loved playing with all three of you tonight. I am GM Elms. I am one of the co-hosts on Homebrew Schmomebrew, which is a podcast available on all the regular podcast platforms where we interview regular gamers about their experiences, their likes, dislikes. We're also doing an actual play campaign. It's going to be every other Saturday night on our Twitch channel, also Homebrew Schmomebrew. That's the ultra crazy, 90s crunch heavy, post-apocalyptic, everything you could put in a kitchen sink and more RPG riffs. Called Graveyard Riffs. We would love for you guys to join us, listeners. Finally, once again, this whole thing has been organized by the Lion Knight, who has been awesome at making this happen. We've raised some money for the National Network of Abortion Funds, which is amazing because they're directly helping people who need help. I urge all of you to, not only vote to try to do what we can about these things, but if you can help somebody who really needs your help directly, you should do so. Just going to leave it there. And my favorite part of tonight actually was getting to play with three people I've never met before and seeing them come up with some awesome character concepts. They kept me surprised and they fully embraced the role of awesome, which is something I think everyone should do in their real life and their TTRPG life. And now I'm going to breathe and let it go over Lion Knight.
Thank you, Lion Knight.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, that was absolutely amazing. That was such an awesome game. I had so much fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed that because I know I really did. Masks is a game that actually I haven't gotten to play yet, but I have read a bunch about, and it was so cool getting to see it in action. And our cast was amazing. I'm gonna drop an extra special thank you to Amber for being able to join us for this because that was so last minute, and it means so much that you were able to. So thank you very much. Thank you to everyone for donating, sharing, commenting, being a part of this, whether it be in a cast, running games, behind the scenes, in the chat. We're going to take a couple of minutes of a break, and then we're going to do a kind of a wrap party. It's going to be myself, a couple of the cast members from DTA, along with Julian from ES Hero Cast, who was on yesterday for the role that TTRPGs play in our health panel. And we're just going to play some Jackbox games. We're going to announce the winners for our giveaways. We're going to hang out for a bit to wrap up this absolutely amazing weekend. I'm also going to have some really exciting information about what we're going to be doing through August, because even though the weekend ends here, this drive is not over. We've got a bunch of games coming, running through the next month, hopefully going to raise more money. Not that we haven't already raised a bunch. Again, thank you so much for that. I'll see everyone in just maybe 15 minutes.